chat. Was modern art made by the CIA? There was a thing on Twitter, and it was like, there was this guy, and he's like doing trapeze artist shit, and he's like pouring paint onto a canvas, and somebody posted. Well, I didn't understand why people were mad about it. All right, I was seeing people complaining. They were like, "Oh, this is like a total scam," or the dumb idiot people will spend $100,000 on this or whatever. I don't think it would become big BB. And I looked at it, and it wasn't actually like. I thought it was fun. I thought, you know, like it's just pattern art, you know? Is it like one of the most amazing pieces of art of all time? No. But like as a inoffensive piece to have in your house, I think it would work just fine, right? Like, I don't know if it's like the centerpiece of a house, you know. I like maybe you would get like a very beautiful landscape painting for over your fireplace or whatever the hell, right? But as just like a cute thing. No, it's made in exchange for political favors and can be used as tax write-off when donating it. Paintings? The paintings that guy was making, they're like $1,000 or $100 for a print. It's $1,000 for like a canvas, and then like $100 for like a print. Which, after material cost, like I don't think that's that much. Like, the guy is swinging like a trapeze artist to make these paintings, and he dumps a lot of paint. Maybe I can find them again. Hold on. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. It's so like just inoffensive and fun. Swinging paint art. It's like why are people mad? It's like this. This isn't the exact guy, but this is like what he does. So, and this person is doing like pendulum art, which the other guy like does some of that, but he also like at times like holds the bucket and swings upside down with it and everything. And it's like, I don't know, it's cool. It's just cool stuff. Is it like the most technically impressive and he spent years honing this technique? Probably not, no, but like it looks cool. Why does everything have to be like the fucking Mona Lisa? And then somebody was like, have common sense. Why do you have to be a contrarian about everything? And it's like, I don't think I'm being a contrarian. I think it's people are getting like so offended over this. It's like, chill, dude. This person, maybe like $1,000 would be a lot because like he's not using as much paint. But the other guy is like massively dumping buckets. It's this guy. It's like, it's a lot of paint he's using. It's a lot of paint. Look at how much paint for just like the base coat of the black. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. I told you, thank you. Fat Electrician is great. Operation Praying Mantis vid is highly recommended. Oh. So much paint. It is so much paint. And paint is fucking expensive. And look, it's not even like he's just dumping a full bucket. He's like, he's got it like segmented out. He's got like a real technique to what he's doing, you know? I think it looks fun. I think it looks fun, chat. I think it would be really cool. Like, if you had that much money to spend on just art, you know, like $1,000 for like a painting in your house. It's like, yeah, sure. It's cool looking. It's huge also. I don't know how big the other ones are. Somebody said that they're not that much. Or that the bigger ones are a lot more expensive. Zincro, thank you. What really matters in art is hating that dude that copyrighted Venta Black because he's a bitch. True. Zachary Rollick, thank you, not him. $1 Million Banana People. People were mad about this guy. And it's like, why are you guys mad? Paper Guy, thank you. Did Mama Kid and Papa Kid not let you get a spirograph as a kid? I did not have a spirograph as a kid. Corinne, thank you. Oh yeah, another thing, people were mad because there's like a kid's toy that you can buy for like $10 that lets you do this. And it's like, well, for starters, that's a kid's toy using not great canvases and most likely not very high quality of paint. All right? Like, there's a lot more effort going into this. I don't think it's like super high effort, but to compare it to like the children's toy version, it's like, well, no, you can't just do this with the kids' toy version. Like that's dishonest, you know? If you're saying that to be silly, yeah, but and Watcher, thank you. He's clearly using more than randomness. Math went into this. Rucksack, thank you. It feels like people actively searching for a reason to hate something as of late. I know, right? Common, thank you. Art lost all meaning with the banana taped to a wall. Yeah. Oh, this one looks cool. That one looked really cool. Whoa! See, he makes cool stuff. He makes cool stuff. People are just so mad about it. Examples, thank you. Heinlein said that true art is meant to be like intercourse, seducing the audience to render them emotionally each time it's viewed, while modern art is unemotional, pseudo-intellectual master debating. What about, thank you. The issue many have with works like this is with the art, the individual skill and creativity of the artist shown in the work. This is just glorified spirograph. Anyone with these tools could make this. So I what? This seems like the same reason people get mad at streamers of like, well, anyone can go live and play video games, and it's like, yeah, I'm still gonna continue watching streamers. Like, is this supposed to be a bad thing? Many fresh, thank you. Damn, some of this art looks good, yeah. Yeah, anyone can make this, yeah, then do it. Then do it and sell it. The star he painted did look pretty cool. And for a second, thank you. Tape measure used means planning, math, and effort. And solubility, thank you. This looks really fun. It does. It does look like fun. I personally hate arts and crafts, so I would never do it. But I remember when I was younger, we had like this assignment in kindergarten or the 3rd grade. I don't remember which, because I was at the same school for both those grades. And it was like, we had to glue some paper to a bell, and when I tell you I hate math, I mean it. I got the glue on my hand, and I just started crying. I started crying, and the like guests that were there to teach us how to make these little polar bears made of bells, out of pity, gave me a complete one. Chris Cook, thank you. Critics confuse the absence of emotion in its creation for the absence of value. I don't think there's an absence of emotion here. This dude looks like he's having a great time. Especially when he swings from the trapeze. Well, pendulum painting is a nightmare? Wait, is it actually hard?
As pendulum painting, where you hang paint in some sort of receptacle with holes in it and swing it or spin it or flip it and do all sorts of funky stuff with it.
Ooh, wait, this is Jazza. Jazza is a really reliable source for art stuff. Ooh, Apache, thank you. Fun fact about the banana, when the person bought it, they just got a roll of duct tape and had to supply their own banana. They changed the banana daily. Yo, Hercative, thank you for the 50 Mexicans. The performance is half of the art. This is performative art as well.
And you get all sorts of funky
Why
results.
is it censored? Because he wants you to see the art later.
But it's gonna get messy. We're gonna start with a double before we dive, and we are going to dive.
When I was in elementary school, I absolutely refused to do paper mache because it was gross. Oh god, we did a paper mache thing, and oh god, I remember this was like 6th or 7th grade. We had to make a rainmaker, or rain stick, whatever the hell it's called. It's just a cardboard tube with beans in it and some sticks in the middle. And I remember, like, during the application process of it, I was just sitting there in perpetual misery, but I was too old to just have a mental breakdown. So I just sat there and I put my paper on there. And on the bright side, because I had so much so much, because time was so slow for me, I had enough time to be like, okay, how can I actually make this look nice? Because I noticed that the other kids, theirs looked like shit because they were just using random pieces of paper. But me, Chet, if I have to suffer through this, I'm at least gonna try and make it look nice. So I did like all blues and I made it like pretty like water. Yeah, mine was the best one there. Cool, Jelly, thank you. The hate directed towards $1 million bananas and the contempt directed towards low to mid-ticket kits like this are different things. Why do people hate it? Western Tanuki, thank you. I don't get why people hate Thomas Kinkade either. Fucking elite artist types are like, Thomas Kinkade? Master of Light? Yeah, there's like fucking 10 other guys who do it way better than him. What an embarrassment to art. Oh my god. He's selling... Who? Hold on. Hold on. I'll show you guys Thomas Kinkade. Thomas Kinkade. You'd be like, ew. Ew. This isn't high enough quality. Ew. Stop it. Go away. It's this guy. Look. You probably, if you've ever been to your grandmother's house, you've probably seen these. My mom loves Thomas Kinkade. We get her a calendar of his art every year. Dude, art types hate this dude. Art types are pissed off at this guy. It's so garish. I think it's wonderful and nostalgic and cozy. I think it's like, oh wow, this is like, it's so idyllic and like, it almost feels like a storybook. But like, really happy. Is it AI art? No, this is before AI. These are just kind of low quality. Look at, like, autumn ones. Look at these. Isn't it beautiful? He does wholesome art and modern artists hate that. Anti-Annihilator, thank you. I'd say that what should be done with art types, but that would be against the DOS. Alias, thank you. Modern art is trash. Quit having fun. Yeah. It's like, it's cute. It's delightful. Ragtag, thank you. Many artists hate artists who can easily monetize their art. That's like a big complaint about this guy, is look at all these collabs. They're mad that he monetized his art. They were like, oh my god, Thomas Kinkade is selling prints of his art. What they were really mad about is that he was like selling them in malls and stuff. You would see all of these angry comments about how it's trite garbage made to please the masses, and you're like, so it looks good? I was thinking maybe it's a Me Too thing. It's not a Me Too thing. He was like some married Christian dude, like in the middle of nowhere, if I remember correctly. He sold out. No. Yeah, they hate success. They fucking hate success, dude. They're like, ew, he's just selling his art in quote-unquote art galleries, but actually they're just prints, and he's selling them for a lot of money? And it's like, yeah. Yeah, I would pay a lot of money for a nice quality print of something. It doesn't have to be original. Like, I buy like the $20 art prints and shit at conventions, but if you had something like this and it was like if it was like in a large frame and it was like a nice high quality large print, like, you can justify a couple $100 because part of what you're paying for is like the frame and everything. Nick, thank you. Hi Pep, it's my birthday and want to thank you for another year of memories. Hope to see you in phase at my first off-guy in 2025. Hell yeah! Thank you. Happy birthday, Mid-Clax. Happy birthday, Mid-Clax. Happy birthday, dear Mid-Clax. Happy birthday to you. Spacebar, thank you. It's like jealous people who call any likable female a pick-me. Yeah, it's like, is there some merit to it of like, oh yeah, like, is this 100% what he wanted to continue making for the rest of his life? Probably not. But like, he made something nice and people liked it, and so he kept making more of it. Like, what is your problem? Why are you offended that like somebody is well liked, basically. It's like, what the hell? Frames are expensive? They are. Frozen and Afraid, thank you. It's wholesome and beautiful. There are many people who hate wholesomeness and beauty. True. A frame for $100? I don't know, seems like stuff like this dulls down art. I would love to hear what your opinion is as to why that is. Because I don't get it. I think stuff like this, it's like, there's an appeal. I really like consistency. And this is all very consistent. I know that if I went to a Thomas Kinkade gallery in the mall, I would find something of a very specific style and of a specific, like, demographic appeal. You know? Not execute. Does he have paintings of rabbits? He might. Oh, he's got Alice in Wonderland ones. He doesn't make them anymore because he's dead. So now it's more of like a brand thing rather than the original artist. But that's also fine in my opinion. Thanks, Angels. Thank you. Some Greek philosophers felt the same way about their philosophers who tutored rich people for money, insisting that they should rely on donations instead. It's just insane, man. It's just insane. The Renaissance artists went hard with their beefs. One guy designed a fountain specifically to point the ding-dong at their rival's house across from them. Oh my god. Ashkan, thank you. If only haters put half as much of their energy into doing something productive on it, or positive instead, it's no wonder why they're miserable people. It's just like, why are they so mad? What's your meaty cougar? Thank you. Like, this is what you're mad about? Look at this. Love, laughter, and friends. Welcome here. And it's a little fucking painting of a board. $33. Oh no. What a fucking sellout. How dare he? There's again, thank you. It's like certain art people genuinely believe nobody will give esteem to their authoritative opinion if they aren't actively putting others down. It's true. It's so true. Look at this one is framed with glass. And it's $143. I think that is reasonable. This one's pretty big. I don't know why this one is $435, but it's probably like a very big one. Yeah, it's like, God, people are so mad. Not for me, but I can see how it can complement a room. Like a very cozy room. Patriotic. Of course, I think people hate kitsch art because it's in poor taste from its excessive sentimentality and perceived lack of artistic merit. It's tacky and commercialized. Why is it tacky? Why does it matter if it's commercialized? What's wrong with excessive sentimentality? IRS, thank you, fancy. Not the ATF, thank you. I just like pour a paint bucket on canvas art, but I'm not gonna get mad at people that do like it. I have better things to do with my time and energy. Like, I genuinely don't understand. What is bad about something being excessively sentimental? Is it not good that it evokes emotion like that? I thought a lot of art was about, like, creating emotion. Thanks, Angel, thank you. By the way, Heinlein also said government-supported art is a incompetent hoe. Spamian, thank you. Imagine living your life simply ignoring things you don't like or care about and how much more productive you could be. And Govbro, thank you. Jacob Giller has a good video on people hating modern art. Roland Van Leon, thank you. Pippa, how is a hate for these two guys any different from how we treated the guy with the glasses people movie? Oh, I think it's really bad, so I laughed at it. I think it's just a really shitty movie. I wouldn't hate the Nostalgia Critics movie because it's popular. I wouldn't hate it because it's excessively sentimental or tacky or niche or whatever the fuck, or quiche. I hate the movie because it's cringe and it makes me feel bad and thus is funny to laugh at. And I don't feel bad laughing at it because Doug Walker is not gonna get, like, his feelings hurt over it, you know? Chris Cook, thank you. And even if you did, you know, like, you're allowed to criticize stuff. I just don't get why I don't get the reasons why people hate the Thomas Kinkade stuff. It's like, you hate it because it's commercialized? How does that detract from its appeal? You know? Chris Cook, thank you. It's like fast food versus chef cooking. The McDonald's tastes good even if it's lower quality. Most chefs acknowledge it. A few loud ones complain. Deborah Luthien, thank you. I hate Kinkade art because it reminds me of when my high school ex made me sit through a timeshare style auction of his prints. Pretty art though. Ooh, timeshare style auction. Ew. Tornard, thank you. Look up kitsch artist. Odd nerd room. Oh, Oh, then thank you. People look up the light painting. Saw it on PBS off book. I was so interested. So interesting and awesome to look at. Light paint. Sure, thank you. That one super chat. Just wanted you to break no nostalgia critic November. Jill, thank you. Artists hated cameras when they became common. People mad about the paint bucket swinging guy is normal. Plus, it's Twitter. What thank you. Kick-Assy too. Pakistan attacks. Ugh. I don't care how profitable it is if it's good. True. True. People are obsessed with authentic. That's why they hate commercialization. I don't think something's inauthentic just because it's commercialized. I really don't. Maybe I'm an idiot that just doesn't get it, but it's like, just because somebody's getting paid to do something doesn't mean that they're like miserable doing it. Doesn't mean that it's not something that they would want to create. You know, it's like, it can be easier to discern if somebody's doing something because they actually want to do it if they're not successful and they're still doing it. But that doesn't mean that if they're still doing it and they are successful, that they're only doing it because they're successful. Like, how does that make any sense? Guy gets paid to do what he loves. He doesn't need anyone's permission. Yeah. You're free to enjoy something without getting meta about it. It's like a Switch game. It's commercialized and mass-produced, but it's authentic. Chloe Shelving, thank you. Artist elitism is envy and scarcity mindset. They think every dollar spent on him is one less dollar for their multi-medium post-de-reun constructivist claptrap. I have no idea if I said that correctly. Historically, there has been a difference between commercial art and fine art. If you are making product for a client and the other you are engaging in making art. That is a personal inquiry. I don't get the issue. No! All artists should be poor, otherwise they're not true artists. Kind of. that's how people seem. Anyways, so let's get into this video. Modern art is CIA propaganda. Was Jackson Pollock a Fed? Okay, wait, before we get into the video, I have another story time. Okay, so I remember I took an art class as an elective in high school, and in the art class, we had to do a Jackson Pollock inspired painting, and I was sitting there the whole time, miserable. It was like, I remember her explanation. I don't know if this is correct. I don't know if I remembered it correctly, but her explanation for why Jackson Pollock was a revolutionary artist is because during the time, art was focused on creating stuff that was very like technically beautiful and technically skilled, and there was a lot of like heavy I guess elitism in the community of how art should be made. I know, a lot has changed. So Pollock took off because his paintings were abstract, they were different, they were chaotic in nature, and according to her, again, I don't remember all of this, but he would like do like I guess demonstrations or whatever of him just like fucking wailing on a canvas and stuff, and it inspired people, and she made it very clear that that's why Pollock was so revolutionary, because he was so different. He made people talk about what he was doing and adjust their perspective on what makes art. That guy, thank you. Forgot a core rule of expression since the beginning of philosophy and art. Everyone I don't like is a grifter who is only in it for the cash. I've never had that mindset. I've always, my copium for people that I don't like has always been, they're secretly a really shitty person and someday they're gonna get exposed. That's always been my, like, I'm just waiting for it, you know. I'm playing the waiting game. I just know it's gonna happen someday. Cope or real? I don't know. I'm not a good judge of character, so I could be completely off base about some people. But that's my Mr. Beast scope, dude. Yeah. I'm hopeful about Mr. Beast. He argued some of the stuff, so I'm kinda hopeful, but I like modern art. Is he being sarcastic, I wonder? Let's see.
In a turn of events that absolutely nobody saw coming, I think I like modern art now.
What?
Today we're talking about
Chat. What's going on? What's going on? Chat, is this bait? Chat, is this bait? Hear him out? Wait. So when this guy says that he likes art, it's good. But when I say I like art, I'm accused of liking the banana taped to the wall. Thanks, Angel, thank you. By the way, in Men in Black 3, it's revealed that Andy Warhol was an undercover MIB agent he desperately wanted out because he was running out of ideas.
modern art and the historically supported objective fact that the CIA used it as a psychological operation to defeat communism.
What?
That's not a joke. Just so we're on the same page, I keep saying modern art, and I'm going to keep saying modern art, but more specific.
Is this going to be because the Soviets were really good at painting? So they changed what made people buy art? Todd, thank you. Yes. Yes. Unironically, yes. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. There's no way. Look, Shishio, that you modern art was pushed onto the public to make us smarter than Russians? What?
I'm talking about abstract expressionism, which is a subcategory of modern art. So for this, think of it as like the Jackson Pollock type stuff. You know, the stuff you look at and you're like, wow, that's worth $200 million, and I'm pretty sure my 3-year-old could do it. That type of art. And to be completely honest with you, I had every intention of this just being an 8 to 10 minute video of me talking smack about modern art and how dumb I think it is. And over the course of researching for this video, I had a complete 180 change of heart. Not only do I think that modern art is pretty cool now, I was so compelled that I went out and bought my own piece of modern art. That's how great this story actually is. And we're going to get into it right after a word from our sponsors. This video is brought to you by 𝐬𝐤𝐿IFE Go Balm.
Wait, that one was kind of cool though. It looked like an oil spill.
Balm that you can put on
this is not the gift. Soviets weren't great artists, but they were great dancers.
That you've ever tried.
The Soviets kind of killing it with everything.
Chronic injuries flaring up again, or new and exciting injuries, this stuff helps either way. They're a small business based right here out of America. All their products are made here. So if you want to check them out, I'll have a link in the description down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, let's just take it from the top.
Not moon landings. Well,
the Cold
they got
War
really
pretty
far.
much immediately starts, right? We split Germany right down the middle. We've got East Side versus West Side, just like Biggie and Tupac.
I'm gonna say I don't think America made it to the moon back then, so.
But instead of rappers, we have communism versus capitalism. They are going to be competing at literally everything under the sun. Okay, most people think about Cold War and it's like, who has the best weapons? Who has more nuclear bombs?
Pippa, please, I don't. Think about this realistically, chat. Think about this realistically. How did we broadcast the moon landing when we can't even get fucking internet out to like hurricane-affected areas? Come on. Come on. Come on. How did we do that? Whatever. Well, okay to you. I have heard he has a pretty good channel. I still think the CIA used to screw everything up about art. It's sad that our art and writing is breaking down. It was recorded in a Hollywood set. I believe it was. I believe it was. Chat, when you look at it, there's a lot of suspicious stuff about the moon landing. Baseball, thank you. My grandfather literally worked on that antenna. I don't think that it actually happened. Smokes, I thank you. We used a really long cord, Pippa. Joe Rogan moment. I bet that NASA is smart, right? So I bet that they lined everything up. And I bet that they made as many people as possible be fully convinced that it was actually happening. And I'm also fully convinced that there's probably like 10 or 15 people out there that know that it was filmed in a studio. Zachary, like, thank you. If the landing was fake, the Cold War was fake too. I think America was really desperate to say fuck you to the Russians. And so that's why they did it. And that's especially why it was quote-unquote broadcasted. And Dakota, thank you. The truth is Stanley Kubrick did film it. The thing is, he's such a perfectionist, he had to shoot it on location. Yeah, like, thank you, Pippa. The reason that we have issues with communications after a hurricane because of terrain like mountains are no mountains in space. Satellites are really good at space communication. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Back then, really? No. Quite thank you. People have done analysis on it. It would have been more difficult to fake it. Chat. You're not gonna convince me otherwise. Next sentence, if it was fake, why didn't the Soviet Union expose the US? Because again, I think so few people actually knew it was fake. 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐴, thank you. It's called spending millions of dollars on space program, no rural internet because they don't want to spend money on poor people. Luke Shishio, thank you. There's a documentary called American Moon on for free on YouTube. It's very convincing going with what you're saying. Fuck yeah! More super chats like this, please. And Watcher, thank you. I think your skepticism is good. But when I heard explanations from Neil deGrasse Tyson, I believe this one. Well, it's a different stream for a different day. It's a different stream for a different day. Have you guys ever actually seen the flag on the moon? How many of you guys have ever actually, like, used a telescope to look at it? Because they say that you can do that. Redax Commander, thank you. Why would the Soviets ever admit defeat? Because they thought they were defeated. $5, thank you. Because they knew that psychologically they had already lost the war. $5, thank you. I think that we did land on the moon, but the footage was definitely shot in a studio. I think we went to the moon after. Chris Cook, thank you. Pippa, this engagement bait must stop. It's not engagement bait.
That's true, but there's also the culture war. America and the Soviet Union are competing against one another at absolutely everything possible. This is why we have...
Sweet, thank you. Are you calling your cute coworker NASA a liar? Rabbit, thank you. This is bait, Pippa. The point of the rocket was to show definitively the USSR that we could reach them with an ICBM. Ender Lollipop Guy, thank you. Just for the out of character, please say you're not a flat earther. I am genuinely not a flat earther, but I still believe the moon landing was faked. Yeah, thank you, Pippa. There's a retro reflector on the moon placed there by the astronauts, and you get a signal back from it. Test it yourself. Great matter, thank you. If the moon landing was fake, then the fake footage was modern art, so it's relevant.
Have awesome movies like
Another stream for
Miracle,
another day.
America needs to beat the Soviet Union at hockey, and we need to win the most Olympic medals, and we have to have the best art and the best music and the best economy. It is a cultural war on everything. Now,
there was a lot of people working on
stuff. Way tougher than others.
The rest of the science is a dirty term, but I trust NASA more than high school dropout. No offense intended. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just saying my opinion. I'm here to say my opinion. I'm not like, no, you have to believe me. Hey, Lamont, thank you. Your bait used to be believable, Pippa. I used to thank you. It's okay, Pippa. We love you no matter how many bad things you have. Pizza Man, thank you. You know the thing is bad, but even the PP court doesn't believe the conspiracy. Phobia, thank you. Base Pink Rabbit, Mr. Air, thank you. Boring bait, do better rabbit. Stillsmare, thank you. Fuck, every time I hear an explanation from Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm immediately inclined to believe the opposite.
For example, the Olympics is going to be unbelievably tough because the USSR is just going to go in and give all their athletes funding, and it's going to be their full-time job to train to be an Olympic athlete 30 hours a day.
Check out these
There's not a lot the
mooners.
American government can do to ensure victory other than sit back, cross their fingers, and hope to God a genetic freak of nature like Dan Gable wanders out of a cornfield and wins Olympic gold at wrestling without giving up a single point. So in things like sports, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. It's a good old-fashioned shootout.
This
But
has
on
been
other
chaotic.
battlegrounds that
Don't
have a
forget about
less
Pip
defined
and the
rule set,
VTuber Wars.
America's gonna cheat its ass off.
I would campaign for myself in the VTuber Awards, but realistically, I'm up against Kobo Kanaru and Gigi Murin. There is literally no hope. I'm up against two members of Hololive. Chat, we're losing and we're losing by a landslide. Oh, thank you. Nice job baiting Super Chats with such a bad take. It's not a bad take. It's legit. Those are fucked to you. I despise starving artists, arrogantly proud to be homeless addicts because they're low-quality garbage, legit art. Lazy, talentless, scamming hacks. I'll jerk the name. Thank you. Love how everyone's grandpa worked on this. Grady DeMarco, thank you. Pip, I believe you believed the moon landing was fake. Thank you. Wait, what did you mean by that? Tension Thorns, thank you. You're campaigning fun. Vote for Pippa, vote Tenma. I don't think you wouldn't Russia and China rat us out for faking it if they knew. You know, Hercules, thank you. They approached the moon, but it was haunted, and they had to make a show to cover and avoid mass panic.
Off
True.
every way it can.
You're goddamn right.
Listen, thank you. Pip, I have a literary degree in rocket science. We definitely had the tech back then.
Art and music. And America doesn't want to go toe-to-toe with the Soviets and say music
You guys
on a
are so
category like
defensive.
classical music because, well, the Soviets are going to do the same thing they do with their Olympic teams. They're going to take a 1-year-old that can barely walk, shove a violin in their hands, and make them play it 18 hours a day till they become the best violinists on earth by the time they're 7. And the American government
Maybe the Soviets had the right
strategy of like, yeah, no thank you. We're just going to take something the Soviets don't have and make it extremely popular, and that way we win automatically. So the government, by way of the CIA, takes a bunch of money and funnels it into the jazz industry. They take the best artists like Louis Armstrong and send him on global tours all around Europe and every other country they can get into, showing off this new style of music and making it popular across the globe. And it's something that the Soviets just aren't going to be able to compete with. And jazz ends up inspiring rock and roll. And then rock and roll ends up inspiring metal. And next thing you know, it's 1991 and Metallica is having a concert in the USSR with 1.6 million people in attendance, and 3 months later, the USSR falls. Coincidence? I think not.
Metallica did that, just like how they made copyright suck. Truly a cultural icon.
The Soviets good at? They're good at the traditional stuff, that old school realism, okay? Which, let's be honest, kind of not super needed anymore ever since we invented fucking cameras. So the American government is like...
Disagree? Someone thank you. Voting early, vote often. That way we win, JK.
Well, what do we have that's different? Let's back that. We are going to back modern art, which is abstract expressionism, where it's literally just art for the sake of art. That's literally the definition of abstract expressionism. It's just doing it because you want to do it, because you're expressing yourself through some medium in some fashion, and that's where you get things like Jackson Pollock paintings. He's just expressing himself. Now, that doesn't sound like that big of a deal. However, it is a humongous deal because that's exactly the type of thing that you can't do over in the Soviet Union, pursuing a passion project to make a living. Now, can you be an artist? Absolutely.
Oh, wait, this is kind of actually really American. Like in a good way. Milok, thank you. Pippa, when we go back to the moon with SpaceX, what are you willing to bet when they will or won't find the Apollo landers? I bet they're not gonna find shit. From back then. Westy, a girl I was FDW made spiral art?
Absolutely, you could be an artist in the Soviet Union and get by just fine, provided that you're exclusively willing to paint hyper-realistic pictures of our glorious leader. And if you get bored of that,
I get the vote.
You're probably allowed to paint some pictures of our astronauts not landing on the moon first. Or maybe, if you get really bored, you could paint some muscle mommy holding a shovel, or maybe a bunch of workers returning home from the fields, but they all better have fucking smiles on their faces. So that's the angle that the US government's gonna take. They're gonna show off modern art, because modern art is nothing other than art for the sake of art. It is a symbol of freedom. It's not this tired-ass stuff the Soviets are doing, this take a picture of me, but do it with paint nonsense. All their artists over there with
this abstract expressionism.
Their techniques and their well-refined skills. No, this is America. We're gonna throw shit at the wall and we're gonna win anyways. I mean paint at the canvas. We're gonna throw paint at the canvas and we're gonna win anyways.
How do you know when you're done with a painting?
How do you know when you're done making love?
Oh, when you wash your penis in the sink and go to bed.
If we can't dazzle them with our intellect, we're going to baffle them with our bullshit. So that's the official plan of the US government. All we have to do is make this shit popular somehow. How are they going to do it? That's easy. Copious amounts of taxpayer money. So that's what the US government does. Right after World War II, 1946-ish, they just start pumping money into modern art, trying to get as many eyes on it as humanly possible and making it seem as cool as possible. And it was not well received pretty much by anybody. Even the art community was divided. Half the art community hated this stuff, okay? They felt like it undermined the rest of art, which makes sense, right? You spent your whole life developing this skill set, you make beautiful paintings, and then out of nowhere, here comes this...
I mean, I think that's like a bit extreme. I can understand the reasoning, but also like I don't think it undermines like technically skilled art. I have a very how to say this. My opinion is that even if it's not technically skilled, right? Like I like looking at cute art of characters that I like, you know? It doesn't have to be like crazy good. It can just be like little chibis drawn very quickly on somebody's phone or whatever, and they just made it because they just like the same character. They just love whatever. And I love that thing too. And it doesn't matter if it is like a technically good piece of art, because I'm just gonna use it as a fucking phone wallpaper, you know? Or I'm just gonna buy a keychain of it. And that makes me happy. And I feel like, maybe this is like kind of a hippy dippy point of view or whatever, but it's like I feel like art should just make you happy or make you connect with it. I don't think it needs to be technically skilled. I definitely think it's really cool when something is technically skilled, and I think that there should be like a separate category for that. But Marmalade, thank you. Yeah, so this is literally throwing paint at a fucking canvas. There's no technical shit to go here. I don't think it undermines real art just because it exists, though. 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐏𝐿𝐴, thank you. Based on Chinese lore, all we're going to find on the moon is bunny poop. Maybe it'll be pink. It's like, if some guy flings paint at a canvas and somebody is like, oh wow, you know what, like I connect with that, you know, like sure it's stupid, right? But it's like, oh, I connect with like the free-spiritedness, you know, the breaking of conventions or whatever. For whatever reason, they see themselves in it, you know? It's like, oh, like good for you. And if a lot of people connect with it, it doesn't, that piece of art isn't suddenly worth less now just because more people like it. You know? I don't know. It does undermine art when all art grants and scholarships go to paint flinger and not technical artists. I mean, if that's what's in demand, I mean, it sounds like it was artificially created demand, but I'm just using it as a hypothetical. It is fucked up that the CIA came in and was like, we're gonna rig the system.
Jackson Pollock.
Like, that's bad. The CIA coming in and rigging the system, that's bad. But a lot of people liking something is not bad. Joshua Henley, Pippa the Ripper makes me happy. Okay, well, you're stupid.
Guy in his drip phase, and he's just fucking overhanding paint at a canvas, not even bothering to pick the dead flies up out of it, and all of a sudden
Ew. Ew, what the hell? Wait, that's kind of funny. Brendan, thank you. Art snobs are just like the MLG meta chasers of the art world. If you're not using the meta strat, then you're not a real artist.
famous than you are, it's absurd. And that's just the criticism they're getting from their own community. Once the church-going, more conservative crowd gets a hold of this shit, they lose their mind. They fucking hate it.
One of the many tools of the devil.
Because you gotta realize from this, like, church-going conservative viewpoint, the majority of artists, generally speaking, have always been more left-leaning, which is completely fine. But in this instance, the majority of these abstract expressionist artists that are blowing up are, like, borderline communist sympathizers, or some of them are even self-proclaimed communists.
Wait, why is the CIA blowing them up then?
Worked on a May Day float depicting the workers overthrowing Wall Street. Like,
why did the CIA boost this guy? Wait a minute. Why didn't he go move to Russia? Oh, wait a minute. Because then he wouldn't be able to make his art over there.
they have some pretty controversial political opinions. So, from the perspective of this church-going conservative,
all right, that was a low blow. Jill, think you're gonna have to side with the CIA over the USSR?
A bunch of commies trying to destroy art, and they're using our tax dollars to do it. We can't allow this to happen. It's a slippery slope. First, you let them call this art, then they're gonna be having concerts called Woodstock and putting flowers in their hair and smoking weed and having unprotected sex, and then Forrest Gump's girlfriend's gonna get AIDS. It's gonna ruin the entire world. Okay, to be fair, they weren't actually worried about Jenny, but there was a bunch of conspiracy theories going around, and one of the biggest ones was that because a lot of the artists doing this type of art were communist sympathizers, is that this weird abstract art form was some way for them to convey secret messages back to the Soviet Union.
I think it's just because the kind of people that would make this art tend to be the kind of people that would believe that kind of thing. And my assumption is that the CIA was like, all right, we just need this shit to sell. It doesn't matter optics-wise. Arcative, thank you. I pay extra for coffee beans because they have my Hoshi's face in the package. All purchases are motion-driven. The Fox and Use technically my rush sketches of a part for assignment I forgot was due is art. I should sell them instead of submitting them to my professor. They tend to be neurotic, yes? Yeah. I feel like the CIA is historically pretty stupid, right? I don't think... I don't think the CIA really thinks things through. I really don't. So I would never assume intelligence from the CIA where one could attribute clinically diagnosed mental retardation. Talman, thank you. Pippa the Rippa is art and you can't deny it.
Maybe these were like
I'm not saying it in a bad way, just like in
they were all spies gathering
genuine
intel,
way.
and this is how they shared it back to the USSR. Absolutely no merit to it whatsoever, but those were the types of things that people were saying. So due to the pretty violent backlash from all directions, the US government...
Pippa the Daedra, thank you. Modern art makes me think of Pippa's kitchen counter, where she tries to crack
has to
eggs.
abandon this project and quit putting money into it almost immediately. So now the US government is in this situation where they have something that they want to do, but literally none of their constituents want them to do it. So clearly, they're not gonna do it. The video's over. That's it. The end. No, I'm just fucking kidding. Obviously, they're gonna use the CIA and do it anyways, and then just not tell anybody about it, because that's just how the government gets down, apparently. So in 1950, the CIA helps fund and set up this new organization called the CCF, the Congress for Cultural Freedom. And this isn't
modern
just
art
for
is
art.
just
This
giant
is going to
money
be a
laundering
gigantic
operation.
shell corporation that the government pumps money into to attack everything communist in culture. This is going to be an anti-communist propaganda-making machine. At its peak, the CCF operated in over 35 different countries. They owned and published over 30 different magazines. They owned entire news outlets. They're promoting anti-communist books, music, art, intellectuals, anything they can do to fight the communist ideology.
Glad, thank you. There's nothing organic about the art scene. It's controlled by a small group that decide what is good and sets trends. I have no idea about the top level. I do remember one time I did like a little art elective course thing at that same school with that same teacher, and it was going out to the river, and I don't even remember what we actually did. I don't remember if there was a point to it. But I remember the lady talking about how she cut off all of her hair when she had cancer and made a sculpture out of it. And it was the most horrifying thing I'd ever seen. And she bragged about selling it for like $4,000. And I was like, okay, you guys are crazy. You guys are, okay. I don't think you. If you ever feel like a fun CIA video, check out the top 5 failures of the CIA by DJ Peach Cobbler. Cool ass name.
They're doing, and they're funneling it all through the CCF. And this was deemed so successful overall that the CIA website actually says, and I quote, "The Congress for Cultural Freedom is widely considered one of the CIA's most daring and effective Cold War covert operations." So the CCF is huge, but we're focusing on art, and art has a unique issue in that modern art is already deemed super controversial, so they don't want the CCF to come out and support it directly, so they have to figure out a way to support it indirectly. So the CIA goes out and they're like, okay, well, we're going to get all these art foundations that already exist to work with us. Unfortunately, most of them didn't want to work with the CIA because it's, well, A, they're a bureaucratic nightmare, and B, most of them didn't like modern art. So at this point, the CIA is like, fuck it, we'll just make our own art foundation. So they go and they approach like a bunch of super wealthy people in New York City, and they're like, hey.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought most like big art foundations would be totally down.
Start up an art foundation, we'll do all
The
the
funny
work.
thing is, the coolest thing to come out of the Cold War was the SR-71.
We're just going to funnel a bunch of money and art through this foundation. I'm sure you'll end up getting like tax write-offs or something. So all the rich people are like, dope, absolutely, go ahead. And they do this like 50 times. They amass a gigantic network of phony art foundations where they use that to just funnel money directly into modern art. Okay, they're funding the artists, they're giving away rewards, they're buying the artwork, they're donating it. Then they go to the museums and they get the museums in on it. Now the museums are going to be disproportionately showing modern art more than anything else, inflating its popularity. But that's not where it stops, because now
I hate this shit so much when you go to a museum and there's like an art exhibit and you're like, this is shit. This is bad. I think the CIA is still doing this. I'm doing it. To me, it's kind of like telling stories. You can just wing it or you can develop a 3-act structure and so on. When you wing it, you're more likely to have flops.
now the CCF can get involved. Now that it's like 2 to 3 degrees removed, we're going to bring the CCF in with their 20 magazines and their news outlets, and we're going to have the magazines start publishing articles about all these modern artists and how great all this art is. And then, if any art critics want to have their opinions published in any of these 20 magazines or covered by the news, they better have the right fucking opinion about modern art. So
okay, I'm not gonna lie. The CIA kind of popped off with this. This is kind of genius, actually. Like, when you think about it, they're like, yeah, we'll just fucking cheat the system. We'll just fucking invent a new genre. Create artificial enjoyment for a thing through basically tricking people into thinking it's popular when it's not actually popular, but we fooled them into thinking it is because rich people bought it for a tax break. It's like, what the hell? This is kind of insane. This is kind of insane. They were kind of cooking. They were kind of cooking here, chat.
The CIA forces this into the mainstream, and it's everywhere in all the media.
Think of how many times they've done this since then. I'd get in trouble
all the time, and everybody sees it. And this is like the peer pressure effect, right? You see this in all the magazines, all the art critics love it. Eventually you're like, shit, am I the only person that thinks this is dumb? If everybody else likes it, I don't want to be the only uncultured swine that looks at something that I think my 3-year-old can do and like doesn't understand the deeper meaning. So I'm just gonna lie and pretend and say that I like
Emperor's
it too, just so I'm part of the cool kid group. So I'm deep and thoughtful and sophisticated. So people started to like modern art. It's like candy corn, okay? I know that candy corn tastes like shit. I've never met a single person in my entire life that actually liked candy corn.
It's cute,
yet
though.
Somehow, some way, every October, it's absolutely everywhere. It's got the best marketing on the planet for no apparent reason.
I think it's because it's so cheap that if anybody buys it, they're already making such a massive profit. I feel like it's made of like actual fucking recycled dog shit. And it's just so ridiculously cheap to mass produce. Nuclear Helper, thank you. Was this modern art thing basically ancient NFTs? Yeah, seems like it. Marmalin, thank you. Soon you'll be looking up how the CIA convinced the rebels in the Philippines were in vampire-infested woods and that God warned the villagers to not help them. What the fuck?
Don't even know what company makes candy corn, yet it's everywhere all the time for the entire month of October. Fuck, candy corn's got to be a psyop too. It's got to be like nuclear waste. That's how the government gets rid of it.
I have no idea. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting
Oh no, oh
No,
no,
I
oh
can't
no, oh
prove
no,
that
oh no,
candy
no.
corn is a psyop.
Under the
Yet.
oh god,
I'm
if
gonna look
VTuber's a
into it. I'm
psyop.
upset about this now.
I would genuinely believe that some are. I want to say less VTubers. I don't think the VTubers that are psyops would get so popular. But I have seen some people that have suspicious chats, and I have seen quite a few like really big flesh streamers where it's like, this chat is I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Some streamers do kind of glow. I'm just gonna like say it point blank. Like a lot of the ones that get into trouble, those ones really glow. The ones where it almost feels like they're doing everything in their power to get some platforms shut down. That's kind of suspicious, right? Like there's doing like, look at like TikTokers, right? There's like a lot of really dumb TikTokers as well that do the most insane shit possible. And some of those guys get like massively popular and they don't really get banned or anything, which is pretty suspicious. And then you look at Twitch and you have people doing equally insane shit and you're like, huh, these people don't really get banned. And then you look at YouTube and it's like, wait a minute, how come there aren't people like that crazy on YouTube? You know? Like there's some shitty people on YouTube, but none that compare to like some of the streamers and TikTokers out there. And it's like, huh, why are TikTokers and streamers so outrageously bad? And specifically like the American ones, right? Like when you look at the top streamers in other countries, a lot of their controversy tends to be like there's been like cheating scandals, there's been like people just being like absolute bullies as scandals, right? You don't see like, as insane of shenanigans, I guess, except for that one guy who went to Cambodia and made a live stream where he tricked his audience into thinking he'd been human trafficked in Cambodia. Like that guy, he's an outlier. Chicken guy, yeah.
But we do know for a fact that modern art was a psyop, or at least its rise to fame was a psyop. And we know this because in 1966, the New York Times had found out that the CIA helped make the CCF, and they ran it as a story. Now, they only knew about the CCF.
The Taiwanese guy, yeah. A little bit suspicious.
They didn't know about all the other extra stuff that they did in the art community.
I feel like a moderator has a weapon to my head.
Different shell art foundations. That didn't come out until the 1990s. But it did get the ball rolling for a bunch of conspiracies because now the art community is super skeptical of abstract expressionism. Now, it just didn't make sense from their point of view. You know, usually, typically speaking, it's almost common knowledge that most artists don't get super famous until after they die. Yet somehow all the major abstract expressionists, Jackson Pollock, de Kooning, Rothko, these guys were all superstars during their lifetime. They had multiple page spreads in magazines. They were making tons of money. They were rich. They were famous. It just made zero sense, historically speaking. Because of this, a lot of people in the art community thought for sure the government had to be behind it. In 1974, famous art critic Max Kozlov said that it was, quote, a benevolent form of propaganda. And here's the kicker with this. We don't know to what degree the artists that benefited the most from this actually knew that they were being used by the CIA, because as far as they probably knew, they just received a bunch of money from some art foundation owned by some rich guy. They didn't know that that rich guy was actually working with the CIA. On the flip side of that, maybe they did know the entire time, and some people cite the fact that Jackson Pollock later
Cheeseburger, thank you. I've seen 𝐶𝐤𝐕tuber on Instagram. It's funny.
in his life denounced communism as evidence of that. However, in my personal opinion, I don't really buy it. I think these guys had no clue, and I think that Jackson Pollock denounced communism later in life because he got famous and rich as fuck. I mean, the dude was selling paintings for $8,000, which if you adjust for inflation is like 95 grand, okay? He had a lot of money, and let's just call a spade a spade. Every young college kid wants to share the wealth, and then they get a little bit older and it becomes their wealth that needs to get shared, and then their opinions change. Now, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. However, I hope I'm right for a couple of reasons. One, I personally just find it funny that the US government was using unwitting communist sympathizers to fight against communism by showing off all the freedoms they have because they didn't live under communism. To me, that's art. And
I almost wonder if actually it was like a gigabrain move from the CIA, because when you think about it, right? When you think about it, it's like, how could you accuse them if they're supporting communist sympathizers, right? You can't be like, oh, they're like, you would sound like an idiot, right? Wouldn't you sound like a fucking idiot if you were like, oh, yeah, man, the fucking CIA is funding these pinkos to create modern art. Like, there's a lot of like plausible deniability there. There's a lot of plausible deniability there, right? Of like, what do you mean? You would think the fucking CIA is gonna fund communist sympathizers to create art? Why would they even do that? What's the point? What did they get out of it? It's like, Huh. You know what? I underestimated them.
B, and also another reason that I think I'm correct, is that I think the CIA knew that this art couldn't be propaganda. I mean, they were going to use it as propaganda, and they knew that, but it was very important with the creation of the art that the artist had no idea that it was being used for propaganda. It needed to be a true, authentic expression of that person, because that's what made this art so effective, is that we were showing off freedom, the freedom of self-expression. That's what abstract expressionism is all about. I'm deducting this
from my taxes item line art.
I get it.
So if you're not picking up what I'm putting down,
you
what I'm trying to tell you is that when most people think of the Cold War, they think of an arms race between America and the Soviet Union. Who can have the most nukes? Who can have the most fighter jets? Who can come up with the best, most creative, efficient way to kill the enemy? But at the end of the day, that was a moot point from the get-go, because there was always mutually assured destruction between America and the USSR should it devolve to a hot conflict. And what actually won the Cold War was the culture war. Because when it came time for the USSR to fall in 1991, they didn't want to drag America down with them because everybody in the Soviet Union was wearing blue jeans, drinking Pepsi, listening to Metallica, and 𝐒𝐎𝐿 himself was doing fucking Pizza Hut commercials.
What? What? Just did that you were coming a big pee. Wait, what? Wait.
Это 𝐏𝐿𝐷.
They didn't want to destroy America because they wanted to be like America. Or at the very least, they recognized the fact that the world is a better place with America in it. The Cold War wasn't won by having the most nuclear warheads. It wasn't won by putting a man on the moon first. It was won with blue jeans, junk food, music, and art. And to quote JFK, art is not a form of propaganda. It is a form of truth. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang. Out.
So Jackson Pollock didn't
Like a week
know.
ago, I would have done nothing but made fun of modern art. Now look at me. Look at this. It's beautiful. I love it. It speaks to me. I like what it has
But
to
that's so
say.
madness. Like, USA, USA, USA. Huh. 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 Copyright or DMC soundtrack. Let's get some BGM going. And Watcher, thank you for the 20 PPs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chat. What the hell? Breast guy, thank you. Absolute American dominance. Your world leaders will star in our commercials for a pizza. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jackson Pollock was an American painter, a major figure in the abstract expressionist movement. So does this say on here that it was funded by the CIA? Does it say it was funded by the CIA in this? Or is it like technically a conspiracy theory? Or have these like documents been declassified? Look, man, thank you. Look up the Windacun vid on the CIA vampire op. Not right now. Today we're talking about modern art. This is thank you. Now I want pizza. Ruby and Andrew, thank you. Do you think the CIA is trying to get Epsteinish figure into streaming? Like, come to our big creators parties, ignore the underage staff and cameras? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wikipedia sucks? Yeah, but I want to know if it says on here. Control F, CIA. CIA. Come on. Chat, I don't think it's gonna say anything in here about the CIA. PSYOP. Government. Use a space after CIA. Abstract expressionism in the Cold War. Since the mid-1970s, it has been argued that the style attracted the attention in the early 1950s of the CIA. We saw it as a representative of the US as a haven of free thought and free markets, as well as a challenge to both socialist realist styles prevalent in the communist nations and the dominance of the European art markets. This book details how the CIA financed and organized the promotion of American abstract expressionists as part of cultural imperialism via the Congress for Cultural Freedom from 1950 to 1967. Notably, Robert Motherwell's series Elegy to the Spanish Republic addressed some of the political issues. Tom Braden, founding chief of the CIA's International Organizations Division and executive secretary of the museum... Isn't music too loud? No? Yeah, it's fine. I turned it down a little bit anyways. Asserts that much of the information concerning what was happening on the American art scene during the 1940s and 1950s, as well as revisionist interpretation of it, is false or decontextualized. Other books on the subject include Art in the Cold War by Christine Lindy, which also describes the art of the Soviet Union at the same time, and Pollock After, edited by Francis Fresina, which reprinted the Kimmelman article. Bad Electrician video on it? We literally just watched it. Wow. Wait, this one's kind of cool. This one's cool. This is way better than Pollock's shit. Like this one's trippy. Looks like a Tool album. It does. Some of these aren't a little bit crazy looking. They're kind of cool. I don't know what's going on. It looks like a guy holding a drink. It looks like they're drinking and celebrating. Asa! Thank you for the raid! Hello raiders, my name's Pipkin Pippa. We are looking at some crazy art. Pollock is literally the worst one. It's sad that he's the face of it. I wonder why he's the face of it. Is it just that his works were so absurd? Nice, thank you. Hey, Pippa, I was in California for my birthday vacation yesterday, and I fly back to Georgia tomorrow morning. Can you wish me good luck back home? And another happy year with you along. Happy birthday to Ice. Happy birthday to Ice. Happy birthday, dear Ice. Happy birthday to you. I'm glad to think of the 5 KPPs. The CIA just funded him the most. I wonder if that's what it was. It might be that he had potentially like the biggest canvases too, and like the most personality. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just guessing, but maybe like that's what. Jackpot. Maybe that's what made him become the most popular. His paintings were massive. They were. They were massive. Pollock painting in real life. Jackson Pollock action painting. How to paint like Jackson Pollock. From the Museum of Modern Art. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Teach me. Teach me. Teach me to paint like the masters did.
Now in the studio, let's see exactly how Pollock worked. Placing the canvas on the floor.
You better put a dead fly on this canvas or I will not be impressed.
Pollock no longer remained in physical contact with the canvas while painting. Instead of using conventional artist brushes to push or smear liquid paint across the surface of the painting, Pollock now used things like sticks, even turkey basters, or dried paintbrushes, hard as a rock, that he variously dripped, drizzled, poured, or splashed paint onto the canvas below.
This seems like it would take for fucking ever, dude. This seems like it would take for fucking ever, and not in like a fun way. It does, it does. This seems tedious and boring.
So that drawing elements would happen quite literally in the air before falling down to the canvas below.
I don't think he was doing that. Listen to this.
Because the paint was so fluid, Pollock essentially drew in space, so that drawing elements would happen quite literally in the air before falling down to the canvas below. Sometimes thick, sometimes thin, a rhythm of poured paint would develop across the surface of the painting.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No. Fifth of it, like a horrible deadlift form. Lampton, like he was like watching a drunk drywall painter. This is insane. This is insane. A rhythm of movements would begin to form. Dude was zoning out, and when he picked up like the red bucket, he'd be like, "Oh man, I want a red car." And I guarantee I'd pay money on this. He would like subconsciously get more into it because he really wants a red car, and then he'd pick up like the white can of paint, and he'd be like, man, it was kind of like cloudy today. After this, I gotta head to the bank and I have to make a withdrawal, and then I gotta put a fucking down payment on the card that I got, and it wasn't red. And as far as my thinking, NASA's actually rating Pippa for her conspiracies. Watch out, the feds on the doorstep. Ah! You know, today I feel green. I should call her. You know, I don't think he. I really don't. I really think he was probably just zoning out, and sometimes he had like bursts of energy, and most of the time he was probably just like mentally seething or some shit. Well, what else do you think? You? Damn, that's crazy. Imagine if it looked like something other than upchucking a bag of Skittles.
Now, if you know that the painting was painted on the floor, if you know that the paint has a very low viscosity, you can very easily imagine the kind of physical activities that would go into the making of this type of painting. Art historians
Splattering paint? What is it that you just said?
paint has sometimes thick, sometimes thin. A rhythm of poured paint would develop across the surface of the painting.
Just say that again.
Now, if you know
that this painting was painted on the floor, if you know that the paint has a very low viscosity, you can very easily imagine the kind of physical activities that would go into the making of this type of painting. What? When you know how the thing is made, you can imagine how it's made. Desi, thank you. Black over red car color.
art historians at the time coined this kind of painting action painting.
He's bullshitting us. He's bullshitting us so hard right now.
Because of this very idea that you could imagine quite viscerally the actions that went into the making of the painting. Now specifically, we're talking about the actions of almost a dancer. You can imagine Pollock's feet shuffling around the painting. You can imagine rotating.
I hate this dude.
Rotations of the elbow and of the shoulder.
A dancer. You know what would be like a cool version of this is like if you did like if Jackson Pollock was a dancer and he had like put paint onto his shoes and then he like did a dance or some shit on it, right? And then you could be like, oh, like this is very like expressionist. This is very like, oh wow, like this like conveys something, right? He wasn't dancing, dude. He was splashing paint onto the canvas.
Variously launching or slowly drizzling paint onto the canvas below.
And what do you get from that? I didn't think I prefer the action Michelangelo did painting the roof of the Sistine Chapel over Pollock's action painting personally.
For Pollock, the drama of making this painting.
What if he was dancing while doing so? That would still be more interesting. You know what would, like, this is already very low ceiling content, right? But you know what would have actually made it like a little bit more interesting to me is if he was listening to like a specific song while painting it, and then he was painting like to the rhythm of the song, you know, and then you could like title it like this or that, like based on the song, and at least it would be like something a little bit easier to connect with, I guess. Drexel, thank you. Companies like Ticketmaster, because of the close relations with corrupt U.S. politicians, allow Russian bots to scalp tickets as a source of money for RU oligarchs. What? Chemtrail makes thank you. Look up paintings Rain, Steam, and Speed by J.M.W. Turner. No.
Floor meant that not only physically but emotionally he could be in the painting, stepping into the
canvas,
himself in almost this trance-like or zone-like type of painting process.
That's a lot of fancy words for saying somebody was bored.
Looking at the paint below,
trance-like, zone-like process,
and adjusting whatever gestures you have to create this painting. Now, traditionally in painting,
fuck off.
People would compose one shape according to another one. A little bit of red here, according to a little bit of blue there, according to a lot of yellow over here. Well, for Pollock, he threw that out the window, as he did so many things.
Like paint.
Rather, Pollock is composing one line in juxtaposition with another one. And not in any haphazard way.
Are you sure?
Rather in an all-over way. And this all-overness, if you will, becomes key for Pollock. Since looking at this painting, there's no spot for your eye to rest. Traditionally, line had been used, quite literally, to delineate forms, to draw the outlines of forms.
Oh my god.
You can imagine landscape paintings, the lines defining the mountains, clouds, and so on.
There you go, thank you. Osama's son is a painter. Is he? Timo, thank you. Araki, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, likes to say he draws his comics to the rhythm of the songs they're named after. Huh. Freshman, thank you. One of his nicknames was Jack the Dripper.
Describing other shapes. In 1950, the drama of making this painting was actually captured by a photographer and filmmaker, so that the
whoa,
making this painting
that's so cool.
Before. Not only that, but other artists were profoundly influenced by this radically new way of working. Not only painters, but, well, performance artists can be traced back to this very, very formative moment, very important moment in American art history.
This is really funny after finding out that the CIA made this shit artificially popular. 1.4 million views. Jack the Dripper. Oh, man. There's one thing you can say for Jackson Pollock. He never licensed a paint-by-number kit. True. Frozen Check, thank you. Bob Ross blows these guys out of the water. True. Smart Rogo, thank you. Why am I starting to be persuaded by him? I don't understand why any of that would persuade you. Pollock made lines. He, Rothko, Barnett, Motherwell, and a few others were seminal in creating an acceptance of non-figurative art as fine art. Kandinsky was pretty much the catalyst, in my opinion, the forerunner. Abstract expressionism, stupid term, changed everything, but that doesn't mean that we should all splatter and do simple color-filled paintings and expect to be nothing more than a cheap copy. It was a jumping-off point. No need to go there again. But now where? That's the question. That's our job as artists, to ask questions, not answer them. Just saying. Peace sign. By the way, I'm more of a de Kooning guy myself. He grew on me. Who the fuck is de Kooning? Oh. What is this? What is de Kooning? Oh god, it's from the Museum of Modern Art again.
Fun this week because we'll be exploring some really wonderful viscous.
It's the same guy.
The whole range of
it's the same guy.
De Kooning this week. Certainly.
Oh man. What the fuck am I looking at?
And already what you do there is edit out some of the areas that I didn't like, that I thought were weaker. Wow. They just got a lot stronger for a couple reasons. First of all, colors.
What am I looking at?
Look at this chaos here. Gorgeous.
What am I looking at?
What am I looking at? Off of this painting as goes back.
What am I looking at?
Process, not only the physical process of painting.
I don't get it. I don't get it. This guy... I like this better because there's some like actual shapes to it. Like I like that one. That one at least like feels like something to me. But maybe that's the point, is it's not meant to feel like anything. Like this one, it's like, oh wow, this reminds me of like like mountains with clouds, and there's like some greenery in the landscape. You know, it's kind of like almost like a top-down shot almost, but not really. Maybe like isometric. Kitty Kahootie, thank you. The true artists involved with these works are the accountants who help rich people evade taxes. True. The other ones I don't really connect with. I do feel like at least there's like something more substantial here than Pollock.
My name is Judith Siltzer.
That's my opinion. Like at least there's something here, right? At least there was like a vision, you know?
Rather than critics or patrons. The fourth
is that 𝐏𝐡𝐚𝐬𝐿?
Starting over, and it begins.
Is that abstract art 𝐏𝐡𝐚𝐬𝐿? Ballcraft, thank you. You wouldn't understand, Pippa?
His native Netherlands. Finally.
Oh God, Netherlands. All right, thank you. I think art becomes lame when I have to listen to an artist justify their art, be a GigaChad, make some weird shit, and don't elaborate. True. I wish I could play interior semiotics on stream. OMGB, thank you. Achieving success with some goofy style is either dumb tax evasion, a psyop, or money laundering. Prove me wrong. This one's like alright too. This one's alright too. It's got like kind of a face going on. I wouldn't pay $10,000 for it. But like, I don't know if this is like degrading to say, but it's nice as like you could put it somewhere where you don't like, where you want like a splash of color, but you don't want something to like overtake the ambiance. Does that make sense? Filler art, yeah. Like a tablecloth? Like a tablecloth, or like paintings around like a bigger painting, hallway art. when you don't want something distracting. You know? Yeah, for a spot of color in a dull area. I think it works great. And I don't mean that as in like it's a bad piece of art, so it shouldn't be like on prominent display. I just feel like it's not like it's not a centerpiece in my opinion, but it's good for like just adding a little splash. Ash can't do anything. You don't know art, but I know what I like. 𝐒𝐶𝐵𝗽𝗶𝗽𝗶𝗽. It is bad pieces of art. This curved line here speaks to me. This is... I don't know. I think this is the Museum of Modern Art. Maybe? Maybe? MoMA? What is MoMA? It is? I don't know why it's abbreviated like this. The birth of modernism and modern art, modern mart, can be traced to the Industrial Revolution. This period of rapid changes in manufacturing, transportation, and technology began around the mid-18th century and lasted through the 19th century, profoundly affecting the social, economic, and cultural conditions of life in Western Europe, North America, and eventually the world. New forms of transportation, including the railroad and steam engine and subway, changed the way people lived, worked, and traveled, expanding their worldview and access to new ideas. As urban centers prospered, workers flocked to the cities for industrial jobs and urban populations boomed. Before the 19th century, artists were most often commissioned to make artwork by wealthy patrons. You know damn well this is not the question that I'm asking. You know damn well this is not what I'm asking about. This is not... Oh, fuck off. Salvador Dali was nuts. Love that guy. Didn't Salvador Dali own, like, some crazy-ass pets and stuff, and he would, like, walk around New York with them, and people would be like, yeah, that's just Dali. The Seal Boy, thank you. It all loops back to Uncle Ted being right. It's just all downhill. Look at this, like, nice, simplistic painting of some people, you know, waiting on a dock, and it's, like, pretty, like, it's pretty, like, minimalistic, right? There's not a lot of colors involved, but it, like, definitely conveys some emotion. It's very, like, these somber, it's very, like, kind of somber and melancholic, right? Of, like, you have like what looks to be rain in the background. Perhaps it's not rain, but it certainly feels like rain. And then you have like the waters below the dock. And corpo art, this does not read as corpo art to me. This reads as like a predecessor to corpo art because it was good and popular. But Shaded Heart, thank you. How much do you bet MoMA is one of the CIA prop-ups? I bet it is. Bet it is. DK, thank you. It's kind of sad feeling. It does feel sad. It feels like these people are like about to go away somewhere, and it's like it that has a very like somber feeling. You know, they're all dressed up pretty well, right? You see people wearing like suits and long coats, and they've got like big luggage with them. But I don't know. I see a train station. Maybe it is a train station. To me, it feels like docks, like a dock. And then you scroll down, and this looks like somebody let a child play with paint. And then you scroll down again, and it's the intro room to a boss fight. Oh, in like a fucking Unity game asset flip, and they made this, and they were like, the viewers will surely think about what this means. The viewers will think, what do all of these polls mean? And actually, it was originally a bug, but now it's a feature because if anything, it's kind of symptomatic of how the boss is going to do like a big move with a spear, and the stuff on the walls is like cloud stock art that has been recolored to be yellow because It kind of looks like flames like this. You're like, life dances on. These are the current exhibitions. Ew. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Look at this. This is pretty nice. You know, it's like a statue of a woman, and it appears like she's wearing some garb, and her body kind of like melds with the clothing, right? And then it's like, centipede shit? Maybe? It's so, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I don't get it. I don't get it. What belongs in a museum? Who decides? Oh, great. This is an angle that's never been explored before. How can we be more democratic in defining value? As a leading arbiter of taste, style, and form, the Museum of Modern Art, played an instrumental role in the shaping the history of modern design. Norman Teague invites us to reimagine the past by moving beyond good modern design. This is an oxymoron. Fifth Venom, thank you. Would you still love me if I was a worm-ass statue? As defined by institutions like MoMA, drawing inspiration from artists and designers traditionally excluded from museums and assisted by generative AI. Chat, I'm sorry. I like AI. I don't think AI belongs in an art museum. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It does not. This is fucking insane. This is a psyop. They're literally still psyoping us. It's just with technology. And they're like, all right, well, we already have all of these art assets that we have under our control. This is the CIA talking. The CIA is like, we already have all of these art assets under our control. What can we do with them? How can we adapt them to a modern age? How can we con Silicon Valley? How do we put the con in Silicon Valley? Oh, thank you. My favorite modern artist is Pipkin Pippa. Oh, no. He offers reinterpretation of design history. How do you... These reimaginings, posters, and full-scale prototypes shown alongside objects from MoMA's collection, foreground makers of color, and embody the cooperative, inventive spirits that guides Norman Teague Design Studios. Spammy, and thank you. For the second Cold War, the CIA began pushing VTubers since 2020 as a psyop to replace modern art with cute anime girls. Russia has countered by convincing the UN to ask Japan to censor their anime. Bless you, thank you. Alright. You've piqued my interest, Norman Teague. You've piqued my interest. Let's take a look. Being inspired by Africa? Norman Teague x MoMA Adobe. Allcraft, thank you. We've already done good art, so we need to make bad art.
What if African Americans were welcomed to come to America as kings and queens?
What does collection look like had black designers been offered the same opportunity as these celebrated
This is a
dolls?
landmine. Just tell me about your AI art. Tell me about your AI art, dude. Chat. I think this is a grifter.
Hey everyone. Tonight we're diving into the fascinating world of inclusive design. Have you ever...
This is an AI video. Chat. Why is there like there's no content on this guy, really? He's an AI artist. Yeah, this is not based. This is not based, chat. XVKR, thank you. AI art made from artificial insemination? What? Oh man. Alright, I don't wanna get into all that. I don't wanna get into all that, man. Jesus Christ. What a grift. Holy shit. This is AI art. In a fucking museum. Fuck off. Nar Mobarak, Daphne Phono. This looks terrible. What is it? For her first museum exhibition in New York City, Lebanese-American artist Nar Mobarak presents a large-scale installation reinterpreting the first opera, Daphne, which was staged by Jacopo Peri and Ottavio Rinuccini. I don't know what Daphne is, I'm not gonna lie. And inspired by Ovid's myth of Apollo and Daphne. It looks like intestines, it does. Shaded art, thank you. AI art is absolutely being pushed hard, but why? Very interesting. Very interesting too that Midjourney. Alright, I'm about to schizo out a little bit, chat. It's very interesting to me that Midjourney is partnered with X, which is partnered with the fucking US government. Or Elon Musk is anyways. Elon Musk is now a literal government employee. And Midjourney is partnered with him. And Elon Musk is pushing the AI stuff really hard. And Midjourney is also very heavily censored. Like, have you guys ever tried using Midjourney? Because it is insanely censored. And compare that to something like Novel AI. Elon's Grok is partners with Flux. Midjourney is partnered with Elon. He did like a announcement thing. I don't know if Grok uses Midjourney, but Elon also tried to push Grok on the Joe Rogan interview. First, I think you're gonna to write a Bitcoin check to pay off our debt. Although, why wouldn't Grok be more censored, I guess? Grok doesn't use Midjourney. I know they like allowed, okay, I believe they allowed Midjourney to like scrape Twitter to use as data set training or whatever. Midjourney is just for images, right? Yeah. Figures and forms. Otobong. Konga. Sound machines. Wait, this one looks kind of cool. Thank you. Hi, Pippa. Sorry to hear that your favorite bread tuber got his Discord leak. I'm not surprised that he's playing Minecraft with butt plugs, but I still want to bleach my eyes. Who? Who got his Discord chats linked? My favorite bread tuber. Destiny? People interpret me saying that I think Destiny is funny and that I like Destiny as me being like a Destiny fan. Chat, I'm not a Destiny fan. I think he's funny. I think like as a stream, the content is like not he making the content like as a person. I don't like that. It's the lolcow. It's kind of like that. It's like the chaos of it. It's the... I think your favorite was meant to be sarcastic. Well, Kirsha accused me of like saying that I was a big fan of him and shit too. And it's like, I don't watch his streams or anything. I think it's funny, like he rated the Twitch plays Pokemon in like a, man, this is like fucked up way. Like that's kind of funny that somebody actually went out of their way and did that. Because like I liked the Twitch plays Pokemon stuff. And like him sitting there in the chair while his girlfriend dances with the man that she would cheat on him with, who I guess was like his friend. That's funny. That's funny content. I don't know how much of it is like intentionally funny, but it's funny. That was his wife. I know. It's funny. Yeah, I got accused of watching Destiny streams, which there are a lot of accusations made towards me, alright? But that one is just too far. That was peak comedy. It was. That's not even the same guy. It's not. Don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin this for me. You enjoy the train wreck. I do. I don't know how much of it is a character. I hope it's all a character. I don't know. I don't know Destiny as a person. It could be a fucking 𝐏𝐿𝐴𝐿 situation where it's all just like a very elaborate performance art piece. And if that's the case, bravo, because it's fucking insane. Thank you. It's mail time. Yeah, denying the moon landing. That's fine. Watching Destiny. Get out of here with it. Based on recent statements, it isn't a character. Uh-oh. Always 2 steps ahead. Destiny is crazed and cringe. It's not a character. Have you seen Destiny's birthday dono stream? I have not. We're getting off topic though. This art is cool. I don't know what's really going on in a lot of it. Ooh, look at this one. This one's like an eye. And this one's like a stairway to heaven. If I find out this is AI, I'm gonna be kind of sad. I can't tell because it's really blurry. But like, I think this is supposed to be instruments. I think it might be AI. I don't know. It's too small and blurry to be able to definitively say. But like the sheet music here doesn't make any sense. Which I feel like is kind of an indicator that it might be AI. Sound has no center, unlike vision. Sound wraps around you, comes and goes. Control F, A, I. Are you fucking kidding me? Redefining sound once more with technologies ranging from generative AI to blockchains. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I hate the Museum of Modern Art. I guess now it's officially confirmed that all of the AI pushing shit is a psyop. It's literally a psyop. AI is literally a fucking glow up, dude. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Very interesting, chat. Alright, guy, thank you. Sup, Yabbit? Thanks for the 6 months. I'm drunk AF. Keep trucking on, champ. Love you, paranoia bunny. You know what was cool? Was it, oh god. New money. Scribbled bear. Chat, did you guys see the new money for some other country that has like a scribbled bear on it? What country was it from? Serbian money. Serbian money bear. Has nobody done a video on it yet? Serbian money. Is it Canada? I think this is the old money. Maybe it was just like a proposed thing? I gotta start making videos on this because apparently like other people are not. Mahjong Soul! Just Google search it. Fuck, man. Hold on. Hold on. Serbian money bear. Hold on. I don't know what this website is. But bear bucks. Isn't this cute? Isn't this cute? Some people were mad. What is this website? I don't know what this is. It's called Hex Bear. Bear Crypto? Oh, is this a crypto site? But they're gonna make this like the official Serbian money. How could anyone hate it? I don't know. People were complaining. People were complaining about this. I think it's cute. I think this is really cute. This is like kind of abstract, right? It's cute. It's nowhere near anger-inducing. It's not. It's really not. He's just a silly guy, yeah. There are other builds in the same design. They're great. They're very cute. Saying this is cool. It is. Do you like bears, Pippa? Not really. Honestly, no, not really. Oh, here's the other guy when he does like the trapeze stuff. Whoa, some of the other stuff looks cool. Fake art. Jesus Christ, this dude is like ripped. What the hell? Pippa hates Uruka. I like Uruka. Uruka is one of the good ones. I wonder if he's gonna make something out of that big heart. Better than AI, true. Oh, so here's how he separates the buckets. It's like tape and foam. Whoa, he hand cranks this stuff? I thought it was on a spinner, but he hand cranks it. Whoa. XBKR, thank you, Bear Bucks. How about some pennies? Wink, wink, chat. Whoa. It is so much paint. Wow. Cool camera angles. Oh. I wonder where the camera is on the thing. Oh, it's back there on the edge. It seems so wasteful. It's fucking paint. Who cares? Who cares? I don't understand that. Like, oh my god, you're wasting so much paint. Yeah, so? How many pencils have you thrown away? That's a lot of money. He makes it back. Like, how else could you make this without it creating the same problem, you know? Yeah, how many markers have you sniffed, Jet? How many markers have you sniffed without using all of the fucking marker juice? I think this is really cool. I don't think this is something you could easily recreate. Oh, he's talking.
They do, and I don't want to prescribe a meaning too much, and that's why.
I'm muting him. I'd rather listen to music. Is that like Dio's bread line? I eat the marker when the juice runs out. Good. It's important not to waste anything. Look at that. Wow. All like the little splatters are really cool. All the little splatters are so cool, chat. I like it. It looks good, but AI can make something similar, just no paint depth. But that's literally like that's the point. Also, the AI is not gonna make it consistent. AI is not consistent. AI is not going to make like the pink paint splatter that continues in the technical direction that the paint came off of, like this. It's going to pick some direction and it's going to try, and it's not going to be able to do it. It's not going to capture all of the nuances of the paint blending together. That's something that digital art just can't do in general. Of like some applications can do it, but like most art applications cannot like recreate like this smearing effect in the same way that real paint blends in with each other, right? Like you can use a program to create a blur. I'm not saying blur doesn't exist, and I'm not saying that there's no painting programs that have like paint comparative to paint like tools, right? But it's just not going to create it in the same way. And if you've ever messed with these programs before, you'd know that. It doesn't blends in, it's just neon diarrhea. You're focused on the overall painting and not my point. Like, it's not... I like AI. I'm not arguing against AI. I just think that people equate things that are not... They're not the same. I'm sure it's doable in theory, just give it some time. Pippa's coping hard just because she likes pastel colors? I'm not coping, you just don't know enough about this subject, so you think I am. Pyromaniac bro, thank you. I hate pulling out that card of like, actually I know better. But like, with this, it's just, it's not, it's not what you think it is. Chat is baiting, Pyromaniac bro. I first saw this guy and thought, okay, that's a neat gimmick, but there was a ton of ex-people calling this guy a hack that would get shit on in uni, so I don't know. I think they're crazy. I think they're crazy. Mr. 88, thank you so much for the gift peepees. What the fuck? Thank you so much for the gift subs. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see the rest of your name. That's a wild username. I think it's a reference to a meme. There was a meme that I think it was that username on Twitter, and somebody was like, "Free my man, what did he do?" And I'm pretty sure it's that username. I know that one. I think it's the same one. See, like, this is just not... You just can't achieve this. You can't achieve this the same way with digital art. Like, you technically could if you really went in there and very, very carefully recreated it. But like with digital art, it would just be such a fucking nightmare. And then AI is just never going to capture the same effect. It just can't. You can try it with a physics engine? Maybe. 𝐒𝐲𝐿𝐢𝐿, thank you. Very night, Pippa. Good night. The algorithm to make that? Yeah, the algorithm to make it though would be thing. You just make 3 layers of splatter art? You don't though. You don't though. Because it's not going to blend and push together the same way, because this kind of effect is achieved. We're talking about the technical creation of it, right? We're not talking about how aesthetically pleasing it is. We're talking about the technical creation of it. Like, this effect is from the paint hitting and then other paint hitting it and pushing it forward, right? Like this little blend right here. I don't know if you guys can actually see my cursor or not. Oh, thank you. My screenshot can do it. Hell yeah. Look like Helper, thank you. The first recommended video reminds me of the abstract wallpapers from early 2000s, and those were just a couple minutes in Photoshop. Eh? The forward inertia, yeah. People learn about 3D printers just to make one for paint? What? What do you mean? The technicals of the medium, yeah. Splash, direction, multiple layer of sequence, weight over time. The algo for this would be diabolic. It would be. It would be. It's like... People just... People don't care about nuance, man. I'm becoming jaded. Crash, thank you. You can achieve laundering like 10 mil for that POS. 10 mil? He doesn't sell his stuff for that much. He's not selling his art for 10 million. They never do, Pippa. They never do. They literally never do. You can go to this guy's website and you can see how much each piece costs. How much did this cost? I don't know. With one this massive, I have no idea. But like the bulk of his art is $1,000. It's all like the same set price. Can we find that 𝐒𝐿𝐢 video again? 𝐒𝐿𝐢 pendulum art. Low price of $100,000. I'm guessing that's for like the insane paint costs and everything. Malcolm landing you. I just checked I can save 20k tax with art here. Oh my god. A canvas at large is probably already 1,000 minimum. Is there anything you chat baiting you now? His revenge for your moon bait.
Some sort of receptacle with holes in it and swing it, spin it.
Why is it so quiet?
Do all sorts of funky stuff with it.
I can't turn. Oh, I can't turn my volume up more.
But it's gonna get messy. We're gonna start with a dabble before we dive, and we are going to dive. But we have to sort of figure out the finer point of it first. We're starting off with just coffee cups. Bit of a shake. Do you know the trick to avoid being
I think you gotta
precious
shake it
about
more
stuff?
than that, right?
It's the same with sketchbooks. If you have a beautiful new sketchbook and it's like, I don't wanna get it messy, and what if I don't do the perfect thing? Just start. Maybe I regret.
Oh no.
I don't know. House paint is fine. Then you need something to thin out the mediums. I don't know
You
the
I think
ratio.
you have a paint
Is blue
extreme
probably
win.
that much?
I hate paint. I hate messes. I hate sticky substances. I hate all of this. I could literally never.
That's fine. Maybe that. I want it to be a consistent long stream. Yeah, it's gonna get so messy. Does this hang? Oh, look at that. Got a little hanging bucket. Look at that. Got a pen.
I don't even, like, I used to draw quite a bit, and let me make this clear. I never enjoyed art. I have never liked creating art. I like having the finished product. I am not an artist. It's a little bit basic. Hi, people. My phase origin stack plushies came in. Guess who goes on who? Me on top, because I'm the coolest. Arglet, thank you. Is this the guy that paints with his wang? No. What?
Pendulum. Should have thought about
This is the guy who does reviews of, like, Toon Boom and shit.
the holes before I... How do I do the holes?
You've done this backwards.
It's fine. Ah!
Oh.
This is it's just a line. Clearly I need to get better at this. All right, so this is Chelsea Paints, and she does amazing pendulum painting at a smaller scale. This is one of those really satisfying geometric looking ones. The
That is very satisfying. Oh, I like that one. It's like an
as
eclipse.
it's moving. The gravity pulling the pendulum towards the center means that the whole thing shrinks and the shape changes. It's really cool. I want to crack this. I got to figure this one out. All right. Round two,
Good
to
thing
sort of
if the
show my
doctor said
learning
I'm only
progress,
slightly
but also
artistic.
take pride in the work I do. We should do reveal shots.
Chat, this is what everyone's is gonna look like who's like, I could do this in my garage. Everyone who saw the other guy was like, I can do this in my garage. This is exactly how theirs is gonna turn out.
Next, let's take our learnings, right?
And they're gonna
Step
do that
one,
same thing.
Prepare the hole.
I'm gonna be like, this is way too expensive. I can't keep doing this.
Cover it up. Step two, prepare the paint. I'm gonna thin that down.
It still
Hope
passes
something
modern
will
art,
try
it could.
I'm getting ambitious far too quickly. I wanna see if there's a way I can layer a different color on top without it mixing into the purple. Let's go orange. I'm gonna pour it into the cup with something covering the end and then just go.
Imaginary stranger, thank you.
One,
Imperfectness is what makes it unique.
there you go. Okay. I think that might have worked.
Thanks,
Round of
Will.
applause for Rob. You alright? You didn't get paint on you? Oh, it's a disaster.
It's fine.
Oh, the purple's too thick. It's just gonna poop on the canvas. Let's go back to basics. I've got to learn
I'm built
from
different.
the people who
Have you ever
actually
tried
know what
stealing
they're doing.
paint?
Here's a
It's pretty
YouTube short.
free.
He did the color thing I wanted to do, but he did it. My instinct took me to like a technique that actually ends
that's so
up looking really
satisfying.
cool. I just couldn't do it. Let's do a basic one, and then let's get crazy.
That's just him doing a bad job. And this guy's a professional artist, so what makes you think you can do better? I know I can't fucking do it. I don't like this of having to defend fucking artist types. But this is what I've been driven to. This is the corner I have been driven into, and now I must bite back.
It's not bad. All right, let's see how this one goes. That's a good pour. Whoa.
Jazza is cool. I do like
It's a
Jazza.
thick pour, but if it was a bigger scale, I mean, look at the table. It looks really cool.
Whoa,
at
it does
the
look
scale
cool
of
on the table.
I think there needs to be more in the cup. It's the gravity of the paint that's in there pushing the liquid at the bottom out. I think we got it. We haven't got a perfect result.
It looks terrible. Sebastian, thank you. In a way, the CIA mass created the perfect gaslighter since they made it so easy to have to gaslight themselves into making aesthetic. Subjective sense out of abstract impressionism, even quite literally white noise, that is arguably evil and impressive. The CIA is so good at being evil.
Yeah, but I think we've got enough learnings to go from dabble to dive. Paint. Pouring medium. I forgot to do the hole again, didn't I? I should have oh, it worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, who's silly now, Gareth? I'm ready to go. An audience
all right, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Bated breath. 3, 2, 1, go!
Who down? Best girl by far, thank you. Oh, he fucked up. He fucked up at the beginning.
I don't think I have the ratio right.
The ratio is not right.
Sort of doing something.
Oh my god, Big Bad Bear, thank you. The green paint got into the blue paint bucket. This has unnerved me and angered me greatly. It is fucked up. Oh, it's kind of getting there now. Hey, that's pretty cool.
Really cool. The mix is off. I think it's still too painty. I think I actually need
It's very
more.
like
it's got to be thinner than you think. That works really well, and I'm still learning. But this time,
is he saying it's sped up? Yeah.
One. You ready? Didn't think it was a good idea to have a bucket full of paint that I slammed down on a screwdriver.
It took him less than a day to master it. I don't know if I would compare that one to the other ones.
Okay.
Spirographics are cool. They are cool.
Is one clean yank. It'll open up 3 holes. Get our paint ready. I'm going to stick to black because I think it actually makes
You're kind of convincing me on the paint being fun and kind of artistic, but moon landing is 100% real.
For pour number 2.
Yeah, bastard is very generous. We're being very liberal with our use of mastered.
Look at our thing. It's in here. So I've got to tie it up. To suspend it, I'm spinning and I want momentum. So maybe a bit higher, we'll get a bit more arc. It's nerve-wracking. This is fun though. I can see why people get into this. It's like, not a lot of artists would opt into doing this because it's a lot of work and a lot of mess. The result is really cool. And if you got the setup for it, it's fun and satisfying. We're gonna spin and throw sideways. You ready? Tape! Spin!
Oh, he fucked up.
Whoa!
Oh my god! Oh my god! He fucked up so bad.
This is what's going everywhere.
He's fucked up so bad. Look at this. This looks terrible.
The formula down.
This looks terrible.
Oh my god.
I didn't realize that the mixture of paint would matter. That's kind of interesting to think about, that you have to like get the correct amount of fucking paint that are in there to make the paint actually come out like this.
I gotta be honest.
Otherwise it turns out like this.
Maybe I've got it the wrong way around. This was sploppier, but it was more watery. Maybe it's gonna be more painty, I don't know.
The viscosity, yeah.
The world's biggest pendulum swing.
I mean, there's no reason this scale couldn't just increase. If you think about it. Like if this was the size of a car park and I'm the height of a crane, it's a cool video idea. It's also expensive and time consuming and scary. But if you want it enough. Let me know in the comments if you think it's worth doing. What are you getting me to sign up for, Gary?
Yeah, I could never mess up like this.
Let's watch this one again. Travis Chapman. This is what annoys me.
I think AI has a place. And I think AI art is fun, and that's my take that will make like artists fucking hate me. Like, I'm not defending these guys because I think it's gonna make us friends or whatever. I like AI art, which means that I am fucking evil in their eyes. I just also think that the people who are like, oh man, fuck modern art, it's like, this is fucking fun and cool, chill out.
I've got the gravity and the big bucket. He's holding a little cup of paint with like that much paint. That's like barely any paint. That's all the thing, and it doesn't even look very thick.
I think you say I made this so they can sell more baking soda power and use that money to give other countries art tools.
Listen here. And look at this. Look at that big thing. What's that big weight? Some weird contraption to
pressurize, different ratios for different purposes and applications.
Or is that just momentum? How is it pouring so well, Travis? What's your secret?
I'll never tell.
What the hell? Wait, I recognize that art style. What the fuck?
I've just got a bucket. You don't reckon just a bucket of paint. I should look up a guide. I hate following instructions. Oh, no! He spins it a lot so the rope has the spin in it.
Wait, but his is floppy too.
You don't just spin it and let it go. You gotta wind it up like an elastic band that you let go and then it goes because it's got it all pent up. It makes sense. There's this ploopy. Was it intentionally ploopy? But I am developing a
He calls it ploopy.
for this. What viscosity for pendulum paint? Oh, flow medium.
Oh. Can I skip? Can I skip towards the end? Does he figure it out? Whoa, he figures it out. Kind of.
No, it didn't. I didn't. It's exactly what I intended. You
It's-
don't
it's
understand
fucked up.
art, Gareth. Feel
He
my
got it
emotion.
once.
Woo!
He got it once and then he
Okay, I'm
fucked
done.
it up.
It's done. Actually,
Oh,
I
no.
actually did intend.
Oh. Well, as long as he had fun. Crash, thank you. At least that paint can thing requires some talent and artistic ability to achieve, as well as geometric shapes being somewhat interesting to look at. He mastered it, Pippa. Yeah, chat. He mastered it. Yay! He didn't screw up. It's symbolic for oppression. Yeah, you see, the overwhelming amount of white represents the purity and innocence of our culture, and the black spiderweb-like design represents actually like a sort of mesh that spirals into our society inward, and at the heart, at the center of ourselves is innocence and optimism, but the black mesh that spindles throughout us is ever oppressive, and the purple represents lavender. The painting's gay. It's $10,000. That's it, thank you. I picked the wrong stream to drink to. Our critic. Bad word salad. Sold 12K. Sold for 12K. I'm developing schizophrenia from you. Oh, grand, thank you. 9.3 out of 10. Kurisa, thank you. I love her using filters to take silly pictures until they keep calling it AI. I think because they think AI is cool words that slap it on everything. I guess so. I guess so. I see a big nosed woman on the left. Yeah, that's representative of the lesbian. It's gay. Chat, I need to go to bed. Can I get the Miss Super Chat list, please? Can I get the Miss Super Chat list, please? Oh, yeah, they should make this a pride flag. Judge Jingles, thank you. Thanks for making me smile during my time being laid off. It's been stressful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dan. Trying to feed a family of 4. New job starts Monday. Well, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm glad things are working out for you then. Go to drunk your bed. Sometimes I feel drunk even though I'm just tired. Is alright. Wait, where'd my chat go? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Go to sleep, Pippa. Thank you. I was good, Judy. Thank you. Pippa's first CIA job complete. Hard propaganda is, yeah. Oops. T-Clips, thank you. Glow in the dark Pippa is something I didn't have on my bingo card for 2024. Hope your year has been great. Don't let the agents find you. Thank you. Hashtag Jenny, thank you. Pippa must not have gotten that FBI job. Now she's gonna expose them all. Make them pay, have it. Ryan, thank you. Donald, thank you. Please vote for Pippa for most chaotic VTuber on Fillion and Shy Lily show, please. Yeah. We ain't beating Hololive, dude. We ain't beating Hololive. There's literally no way. I don't even want to entertain the idea. I genuinely believe the only way we could possibly compete is if we funneled all of our votes into Tricky. I think that is literally the only way that we could compete. Exada, thank you. Will today include Mobby stream? Nope, not today. Ken Lois Heck, thank you. Thanks for streaming. Again, I disagree with 50% of your ideas, but that's part of the fun. And I was interested in the other 50%. Keep it up. Hell yeah. You don't You don't need to agree with the things that I say. I don't agree with the things the majority of you guys say because there's a bunch of people here that are always gonna have different opinions. And I think it's fun to just talk about things. Thank you. I subbed for the stream style emote. Oh, thank you, thank you. I think it's fun to just discuss things. Hopefully nothing is so irreconcilable that you're like, oh, Pippa's a shit human being. Because I don't want to be a bad person. Although everybody's always going to have... I don't agree with you most of the time, Pippa. Thank you, Papega Channel, with a name translated in Japanese. I'm glad I have you. It's a very soulful account. Pippa's wrong like 90% of the time. True. My opinions are always changing on things. People will be like, gotcha, this isn't what you said last year. And it's like, yeah, because my opinion changed. My opinions changed. I'm a human being. Sometimes I argue with you guys about something and then end up agreeing with you after I've had time to like sit down and ponder the things that you guys have said. Oh, thank you. Pippa has 20 million of CIA drug money. She has to move fast. Get the pancake out, boys. Get it. Come on. I need to launder government money. Mr. Kingerer, thank you. Yes, it was a CIA op, just like the US government is currently hoarding 1.2 billion pounds of cheese in underground caves. What? And when you're done being a contrarian all the time, I'm not intentionally a contrarian. It's just, I've reached a point where I just say my opinions now instead of like feeling like I need to like quote unquote like educate myself or whatever. Like, I'm not opposed to learning things, but it's like I'd rather just say how I feel about something, and if people think that's dumb, whatever. Maybe it is dumb. I'll find out later. If it is, potentially, maybe I won't. And I'll continue believing a dumb thing because it's what helps me to understand the world around me and the correct, quote unquote, correct version of things. I just can't, I can't make sense of because I'm literally just a normal person. That is low-key courage in a sense. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like the Spike Man. Thank you for the 5 GPPs. Thank you. I agree, but you're also a contrarian. I'm not intentionally a contrarian. Gabriel Luvian, thank you. Did you change your mind and admit that it's okay for a 16-year-old game to need a mod to work on modern hardware? Not if it's still being sold on Steam. I still don't think that a game that's being sold on Steam, at least not without like some sort of warning. I think a game should have some sort of warning on it at the very least. You know, like sell it, but indicate that it needs some sort of patch, right? Because otherwise it's like, it's anti-consumer. But Pippa, everything should be anti-consumer, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy your fucking iPhone app store, dude. And Demian, thank you. Modern art is older than the CIA. Checkmate. Ago says thank you. Art ends up being a loaded word. It seems fun. Everything else is philosophy. Where some of the Japanese name, thank you. Modern art is about money laundering and under-the-table deals. Pizza Man, thank you. We need to start off by remembering that modern art is an absolutely humongous umbrella. Picasso was an Andy Warhol, and neither are like Basquiat. Chris Cook, thank you. They were told modern art is worthless, and that's all they need to know about it. It's a safe opinion, and all they know about it, so they parrot it. I don't think all modern art is bad. I think the stuff that's gonna get into like the mainstream, of course it's gonna be fucking terrible because it's funny to laugh at and talk about. But there's like that one, I think she's Chinese. Hold on. Beautiful woman statue. The one where like some account was like, people will never be able to make sculptures this great again because it's lost to like European values or whatever that no longer exist, and it was like some Chinese woman that made it. Chinese woman creator. I can't find it. I don't even know if that's a true story. I'm just like recounting a post that I saw. I can't find it. I know that Twitter post. It was on Twitter. Yeah. I don't see it. I don't see it. But it was a really beautiful statue, and that's modern art, technically. Or maybe not technically. Maybe because it's realism, it doesn't count. Point is, it was cool. In college, I wrote a paper on how I hated Picasso. I think his art is lame and overrated. Modern traditional was done in classical style. I also like, I know a lot of people, including modern art folks, think it's dumb, but machine that never stops cleaning. I think it's this. This one. People are like, no, this is pretentious and cringe. And, like, people who empathize with it, like, this is deranged because it's just a machine and it's literally just doing what it's programmed to do, and it's over emotional or whatever the fuck. It's like, I like it. Potato Radio Link. The cheese caves are another fat electrician video. Also, ice cream barges. What? I love this one. I love this one too. I think this is a good example of modern art. It's slowly dying. It is slowly dying. There was a post that I saw that was talking about this, where it was talking about how it doesn't even use this fluid to operate. Like, it was just going to die regardless, and it's like desperately trying to gather up this fluid that it doesn't even need. And I saw somebody post about how it's kind of like addictions, you know, of like, you feel like you need something and you're always like chasing after it and stuff, and it's not what you need, and you're just slowly killing yourself. And it's like, damn, that's kind of deep. I don't care if it's fucking I'm 14 and this is deep. I think it's very beautiful. This one's just dumb. I like it. It's interesting. It is. There was somebody posted about it, and I spent like a good hour just reading through everybody's personal interpretations of it. It is very interesting. I like the conversation that it creates. Another person was talking about how it's like the pursuit of our needs is what can kill us sometimes, of like people, you know, like working like shitty dead-end jobs that are soul-crushing, but you can't afford to do anything else because of extenuating circumstances and shit. And it's like, yeah, it's not very good at this. It's not. It's really not. Why does it look like blood? I don't know. Background art is kind of scary. It's cool. It's anime. There was another one with robots on a circle bouncing a ball, but never getting the ball outside the circle. It looks amazing. This is sad. It is sad. And people stare at you with their phones out. The way it jerks around, it almost feels like it's panicking. It does, doesn't it? It feels like it's having like a mental breakdown. It keeps scooping, but it'll never scoop at all. Nope. I really like this. I really like this one. Anyways, back to Super Chats. Now I don't feel deja vu. Pizza Man, thank you. It's funny seeing broke-ass people talk about how modern art takes no effort to make millions. Why aren't they doing it then? Because the average broke-ass person doesn't have the sort of connections required to make millions of dollars off of modern art. Because realistically, the people who are making millions of dollars off of modern art have fucking parents that like work at Harvard and shit. Spartan, thank you. Modern art to help beat communism, so I like it. Malcolm Liang, thank you. Art community needs to be renamed to drama community. True. Melvin Merkel Hopper, thank you. Solar Sands made a good video on this guy. His art isn't bad, but he did drive drunk and scam a lot of people. Pizza Man, thank you. Solar Sands did a 20-minute video on why the hate. The Thomas Kinkade guy, right? Neil Herkadib, thank you. You don't understand, if people like it, it means liking it is normal, and that won't do for some. True. True. Cladix, thank you. I buy to own the commies. What? I mean, kind of based. Thank you. Pippa, I love you, but you're gonna make me jump. FC Plithers, thank you. We might not have been to the moon, but we've been to Texas, which is bigger and more impressive. True. Texas is way cooler than the moon, in my opinion. Chris Cook, thank you. Pippa, this engagement bait must stop. Jesse's not, thank you. Pippa gone, communist saddies. What? Not thank you. Will you smoke with Joe Rogan when you go on? No. Eddie Lombardo, thank you. Pippa isn't the most chaotic. She's surrounded by other chaotic VTubers. True. True. I've seen people ask why I'm not, like, more crazy during collabs. And it's because I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to be overbearing. You know? When I'm on my stream, I can say whatever and ramble and do whatever I want. But when I do that on other people's streams, it, like, people don't like it. You know? Like, viewers might like it, but other streamers tend to not like it. So it's like... The Phillian collabs, though, while Phillian... Like, Phillian, I know I can get away with being chaotic. She fucking encourages it. Look like you. Whole Life is gonna split their votes. We have a legitimate chance. Take what's rightfully yours. If it's a Mario and Chromo, it's fine. True. And I'll thank you for $5. Next Angeles, thank you. I once tried to construct a low-budget rocket and KSP to make a one-way trip to the moon IRL, live streaming it and visiting the Apollo sites, flipping off the moon hoaxers as I run out of oxygen. And I'll thank you for 333. It's been 52 years since a human walked on the moon with modern technology. Why hasn't any wealthy country gone there? I could throw on my tinfoil hat, but it's just strange. Did we learn everything there is to know about the moon? Very interesting. Very interesting. Unmemorable hero, thank you. Have you seen the clip of Metallica playing on Twitch and they muted them because copyright claim scares? It's hilarious. You fucking Metallica, man. Well, that's it. Thank you. We left an array of mirrors on the moon from the Apollo 11 mission. You can use a laser to check for them from Earth. That looks like you voted for you pips, because at least you would show up. Greaseman, thank you. Please define modern art as a very large umbrella. Mellow-C, thank you. My immediate assumption was that most abstract modern art were made by rich kids who hate how much easier the average person can get into art. Explain why there's so much intentionally simple art. Pollock Shelving, thank you. If you want an example of amazing modern artists who does things legit, not just money laundering, look up Tom of Finland. Tom of Finland. What am I looking at? Iraqi? 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 Is that you? Finnish Iraqi? Tom of Finland. They finished alright. Oh no. Round Table by 𝐒𝐿𝐢 is about everyone wanting the ball, but by attempting to reach it, it starts rolling away. So no one gets it. Round Table by 𝐏𝐿𝐢. Thinking emoji. Ooh, creepy.
This is an artwork from South Korea called The Round Table, which features 18 headless mechanized figures made primarily from straw. These figures, hunched over, support a large round table on their backs. Atop the table is a single head that continuously rolls around, symbolizing an elusive goal. Each figure attempts to rise and claim the head, but as soon as one does, the table tilts, causing the head to roll further out of reach, perpetuating the futile struggle.
That one's cool. I like that one too.
Above them, 3 large black birds circle ominously, representing the upper class or elites, observing the endless efforts of the working class below, powerless to intervene or assist. This is an art.
That one's cool. I like that one. I like that one too. I think that's a very cool example of modern art. So it's communist. I don't think so. I don't think the working class struggling is an exclusively communist talking point. Yeah, thank you. I always thought the mechanical ones were sick. Yeah, thank you. A reason we didn't go back to the moon, the Saturn V we used to go to the moon was seconds away from tearing itself due to a design problem causing its engines to slam into the fuel tanks repeatedly. Yeah, it's not communist to despise the elite. I agree. I agree, Rondale. Thank you. Hanlon could never have predicted the CIA, where everything they do is fueled by both malice and stupidity. Michael Lane, thank you. If you wanted more art stuff, Han von Miergen is interesting. A guy who's a forger and his fakes were being sold for more than the real stuff. I'll have to look that one up later. Dentetsu, thank you. G reminds me of something happening in video games right now. Anti-Annihilator, thank you. If you want to see why this direction for art was bad, I recommend looking into shock art. Basically, everything in that movement was an atrocity. Super and Bob, thank you. It sounds like the kind of thing where they'd be like abusing people, and it'd be like, "Isn't this art?" And it's like just beating the shit out of someone. Super and Bob, thank you. Candy corn is made from honey. It's good, and your hatred of it is due to a psyop. Drexel, thank you. Pippa, I need to watch what I say for the good of Phase's future. Also, Pippa, if you think maybe it was also a test subject for MK Ultra. KK Zulu, thank you. Oh wow, the talentless alcoholic hack painted vomit. So deep. God, I hate modern art. Sarah, thank you. Well, I do think this is my deranged take, but I don't think like really good art can be made by somebody who doesn't suffer. That's my deranged take. I feel like people who suffer immensely or have suffered immensely make better art than people who have lived very cushioned lives. Fledex, thank you. Want good art? Watch Bug Fights by NeuralViz. We already watched NeuralViz. Normal take, very true. You ain't wrong. Okay, I'm glad you guys agree. Like, I would call it the range. That's a trash take. Oh, Lenuru, thank you, but everyone suffers in their own ways. There's like suffering, like, oh man, I'm so anxious, it's hard to make a phone call. And then there's, which I'm not like shitting on, you know, like I too have social anxiety. I've gotten better about it over time. But like there's like that kind of like quote unquote suffering, and then there's like, oh man, my parents beat me when I was a kid or whatever the fuck. And it's like, well, one of these is like, one of these gives a deeper innate understanding of suffering than the other, you know? One of these broadens an artist's toolkit immensely. You know, in my opinion. Yeah, one of these is not like the other. Suffering is subjective. One can suffer more from a spilled drink than the other from leg torn off. I agree with that to an extent. But the person who still... But this comparison doesn't work, where the person who spilled their drink is not going to suffer long-lasting trauma. Yeah, it's not that subjective. The other person who's missing a leg is now permanently missing a leg. Even if they didn't feel any pain in the moment, they're going to live with that for the rest of their lives. The person who spilled a drink can get another drink. Simpler, thank you. Peppers, I just got off the patrol training. Thank you for all your streams. They kept me, and when I went home, me for the 2 houses between shifts. Well, if you're ever in Hollywood, you can commit all the crimes you want, and I'll let you get away with it. All right. Alright, I'll hit up Hollywood and... I don't know what I would do there. I don't know what kind of crimes I'd want to commit in Hollywood. Maybe I'll feed a homeless person an Oreo filled with toothpaste like that one YouTuber. I'm not gonna do that. It depends on how you represent your suffering. Everything can be a tragedy if you are creative enough. I disagree. I think there's a sort of here's my, maybe it's not cringe, I don't know. I feel self-conscious now calling my takes cringe, because when I say they're cringe, people tend to agree with them, ironically. I think true suffering is its own thing. I think true suffering is a sort of enlightenment upon the soul. Not to get like religious about it, but like to truly suffer is something that cannot be understood by somebody who has not truly suffered. A person whose concept of suffering is, I spilt my drink, this is horrible, I have trauma. Their concept of suffering is not the same as somebody who has truly, thoroughly experienced pain. And I think it's that experience of pain that allows artists, some artists, to create more depth in their art. Because they know, they understand something that perhaps the average person has not. But you cannot quantify or compare suffering in an objective manner whatsoever. I think that's copium by people who haven't suffered. Brian Gold, thank you. I think that's copium from people who are like, well, I had a shit life. And it's like, well, did you truly suffer? Hence why J.R. Tolkien was a good writer. PTSD? Hell yeah. My pain is greater. It's not about the fucking, like, oppression Olympics or whatever. It's not like... Derpy the Dater, thank you. I think that suffering is only one facet of developing emotional depth. One can draw from other strong feelings like profound joy. I agree. I think somebody who has experienced a sense of truly profound joy is also going to create better art than somebody whose biggest joy in life is they got a really tasty drink at Starbucks. But Pippa, you can't objectively compare and quantify profound joy. Okay, well, I'm going to anyways, because I think, like, people who have had children, to me, they just look objectively happier in general. The ones who like their kids, anyways, seem to have a more profound sense of joy than somebody who's like, oh, I'm so happy they released a Pokemon that I really like. Or this is my favorite Pokemon. You know, compare somebody and their favorite Pokemon to somebody who deeply loves their family or their kids or whatever the hell. I'm sorry. Pippa, you can't quantify it. Whatever, dude. Agree to disagree. I'm not changing my mind on this one. I think it goes both ways for joy and for suffering. Mr. Thank you. If it was a one-off drip painting would be neat as an expression of the boundaries of the medium. The fact that Pollock did hundreds of them, but they're indistinguishable, makes them boring. I do agree with that. I think like one painting that was just like a statement piece against realism could have been interesting, but oh my god, mass manufactured. You need strong emotions to draw upon. You're so edgy. How am I edgy? I think you're just dumb. What is life without profound emotion? XVKR, thank you. The real skill in modern art is talking enough shit to blend the brains of your targeted rich chump to hand over his money. Tharas Kitten, thank you. We're bringing in the artistic papain here. Derpy the Dater, thank you. It's a gamer chair, but for furries. They're double dipping into the whale demographics. Rickman, thank you. True suffering is watching your Hoshi graduate. Listening to DMC music. Maybe that's what they were talking about. If that's what they were talking about, then yeah, DMC is kind of edgy. Big Bad Beard, thank you. I suffer greatly when they got rid of my favorite Starbucks drink. I don't think you. My only experience with Momo was when I tried to go to the one in NYC. They were closed for renovations, but the gift shop was open. I turned over one weird-looking mug to look at the price. It was $120! Holy shit. Was it like handmade? People were buying it too. The CIA is eating good. Oh no. This is not thinking life without suffering is not life. I agree. I think life is meant to be lived in its fullest. And I think the full spectrum of life is emotion, I guess. I don't really know. I'm not 90 years old and have had 90 years to, or 85 something years to consciously look back and speculate, but for me right now. Dagobah, thank you. People who disagree with you haven't suffered. Where's the happy part then? The happy part is when you're happy. It's that simple. Can't appreciate the sun if it never rains. Exactly. The greater spectrum of experience that you have allows for a more meaningful understanding, nuanced understanding of something. Yeah, it creates contrast. That's why I intentionally make my life miserable sometimes. Not in like a self-sabotagey way. Well, sometimes in a self-sabotagey way, but you know, like sometimes you gotta do stuff that makes you uncomfortable to like experience what it's really like, you know? Like I have social anxiety, so for me, it's talking to my Uber driver. I don't want to talk to my Uber driver. I could spend the entire trip not ever fucking doing it. But if I don't do it, I'll never know what it's like, so I just do it anyways. That's not really a profound suffering or anything so extreme. It's just you do stuff to make it so you understand the thing. How is that suffering? I didn't say it's suffering. I said it made my life worse. Or did I say suffering? I don't know. But it's not suffering. Or it's like a very, very minor, like, oh man, I'm suffering here. On the suffering scale, it is a 1. You were looking about it the wrong way. It's not suffering, but overcoming what made you suffer. A lot of mental issues come from the avoidance of legitimate suffering. True. I agree with that. I think people need to suffer more. Drexel, thank you. I've had broken bones that hurt less than the death of a friend. I've also had inconveniences that bothered me more than the death of a family member. Sounds like you weren't that close to the family member that died then. Spoiler warning. I don't care about most people that die. Except if I know them. And then depending on how well I know them and how much I like them, I care more about their death. And it impacts me more greatly. It also impacts me how other people are reacting to their death. Because if other people are really sad, it's going to make me more sad by proxy. Yes, all dumb things I do are actually a master plan to increase my suffering so I can be a better artist, all according to Keikaku. It's not anything that deep. I just don't want to ever get too happy or I'll get hit by a train and die. You have to suffer max, chat. You have to suffer max. Nuclear Hellbird, thank you. That's a reference to a meme. Nuclear Hellbird, thank you. Art is inherently human and suffering is what makes us human. True. I don't go out of my way to make my life as bad as possible, right? I'm not like, oh man, I'm gonna like walk around and hope I get robbed, right? Like that's an experience I'm not actively seeking out, right? But like just little things, little things to keep you grounded and aware of the world. You know? Like an itchy sweater. You know, what's the harm in letting an itchy sweater bother you? You know? It works. It's a sweater. You have it already. It works. Just deal with it. Just embrace the itchiness and eventually you won't notice the itchiness anymore. This is thank you. Doesn't Uber weird you out? You're getting into someone's personal car. The only tracking and surveillance is a phone app. I trust dedicated taxis more. No, because it's super controlled. Uber doesn't weird me out at all. If you get bad vibes from an Uber driver too, you don't have to get in their car. Simbaka, thank you. I talked to my Uber driver once. He told me he partook in full contact medieval martial arts and had suffered several concussions, so that was cool. Hell yeah. Tackle Mutus, the metal blaring while discussing the benefits of Suffer Magazine. Glad to be here for this. Taxis are pretty bad too. I would trust a taxi less. I would trust a taxi less because at least with the Uber ride, there's like digital evidence of this person having interacted with me, right? Versus a taxi, there's no like concrete proof that this person ever interacted with you unless it happens to get caught on like CCTV or something, you know? This is why I have my own car. Well, if you ever travel to another place, either you have to rent a car, which is really expensive, or bring your car with you, which is even more expensive usually. And then you have to pay for parking and shit, which is a pain in the ass. And theft, yeah, and you have to worry about theft. Sometimes an Uber is just way more convenient. I'm sorry. But either way, to think it. The Buddha said all life is suffering, but it could be overcome, but he is a dude who named his kid Distraction, so. Mahjong Soul Survey currently. Time to request Legend of Galactic Heroes characters. You guys should request more Pipkin Pippa collabs. Zachary Rollick, thank you. Gamer Subs Bowel Movement. What? Pizza Man, thank you. You know any Basket? The channel Great Art explained a really cool video on him. I have not seen him. Take the bus. You could. Yeah, there's a bus in the area, I guess. Personally, I think
this is an artwork by South Korean artist named Yu Ram.
Personally, I think the buses are really inconvenient, and I hate having to like wait on a set schedule for something, and then be smushed up against a bunch of other people potentially, and figure out like what the payment system is for that specific bus, and I don't like it. Buses are a pain in the ass. Yeah, turn a 20-minute commute into an hour plus. Buses are great if you want to take the scenic route, and the scenic route is more streets. more streets. Ashkai, thank you. Pippa's first CIA job completed. Art propaganda. Spicy pork bulgogi, thank you. We should be able to talk about things without somebody getting crucified, so I feel you, Pips. Thank you. Alright, Butter, thank you. Keep sharing your uncensored perspectives. Freedom of thought is paramount. Nick the Dick, thank you. The engineering of this is impressive by itself. Potato Radio, thank you. So we learned that there's more than 0% chance that Bill Delphine's bathwater may have been a CIA op. Tom almost got a gig for the US Navy. I don't know if Belle Delphine would be a CIA op. But Jack Doherty, I'd believe it. I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna name a name. I think Jack Doherty, the way too artificial of a rise, and he started out his content career, like, as a child. Who is the guy who crashed his McLaren? And he's been doing this shit since he was a kid. DTU Ling Genius, thank you. Thank you for making my night better, Pippa. I'm tossing and turning, trying to sleep, but at least you're making frustrating situations entertaining. The guy with the bodyguards, yeah. He's a literal who, though? He's not. He seems like a literal who because nobody ever talks about him unless he's in controversy, but he's actually really big. What about the Hawk Tua girl? I don't think she's a plant. I don't think she's a CIA op or whatever. I think she's some chick that got massively successful, had an agency reach out to her, and she was like, okay, yeah, how do I turn this into a career? And they fucking skyrocketed her. I don't think she did anything herself. I think the funny meme happened, agency reached out to her, and she was smart enough to take the deal. And they were a good enough agency to boost her along. Heath Rowell, thank you. Please watch and react to the federal electrician's video on government underground cheesecakes because it would change the way you look at the world. She was just plain old capitalism, yeah. I think she was just an example of plain old capitalism, baby. I wouldn't say fed, but man, it was pushed quick because it was a viral meme. And it wasn't viral with, like, this side of the internet, but there's a whole bunch of other sides of the internet out there, right? Like when you go on Facebook and you see a bunch of boomers interacting with AI art, are your family members. Your really old boomer is kind of an annoying buzzword now, so I don't really like to use it. But like your older family members interacting with AI art, and you're like, oh my god, do you actually like that? And they do actually like it. It's not just bots interacting with that shit. She got the normies' attention. She did. When you look at Twitch Creator of the Year, you realize how diverse the internet is because I only recognize one name. Yeah, like I feel like I watch a lot of Twitch and know a lot about Twitch, and then I saw like the fucking Twitch Creator of the Year thing, and I'm like, who the fuck are half these people? Welcome, thank you. You should pull your chat and see government employee percentage. People would rig it. Could say some older relatives act like bots. They do. Nick the Dick, thank you. The engineering of this is impressive by itself. Potato Radio, thank you. So we learned that there's more than 0% chance. Or that. FC Blazer, thank you. Thank you for the 333. Can't believe we've gotten a whole art stream without the video of Yoko Ono screaming at an art show. Yoko Ono is crazy. Rocket Scav, thank you. I do feel bad for her though, where people blame her for the Beatles breaking up, and it's like, dude, that one guy was a fucking asshole. I don't blame the band for breaking up. They had a massive rise. Some of the people developed massive fucking egos. Some of them were complete pieces of shit. I'm not gonna blame Yoko Ono for the band breaking up, dude. Rocket Scav, thank you. I feel the same goes for bands that go mainstream. Their early work is good, but once they're making music as work, it all goes downhill. I think it's just that they tend to make the same stuff that made them popular. And if you don't want to hear that over and over, it can be annoying and it can feel repetitive and blah blah blah, but it is what it is. It was a lot of shit, not just Yoko. I'll happily blame her. Super Ambal, thank you. I'd get another drink, but they kicked me out of the last drink. Tipped into grandma's ashes. What? What is it? You holding it for hours while driving? True suffering. Alright. Artists truthfully will just run out of things to say. I agree with that. Sometimes I run out of stuff to say on stream, and I have to like reach back deep into the furthest corners of my consciousness to try and find new stories to talk about. That's why I like doing nostalgia streams, because stuff like comes back up naturally, like with Mabinogi. There's so many stories I have while playing Mabinogi where I would just never think to talk about it. Oh, thank you. Hey, people, I'm stoned. Can you make me laugh? Banana. Man. Need to get out there more and make more stuff to talk about. Yeah, but then it interrupts streams usually, which is why I'm trying to get better. Like right now I'm visiting family out of state, but I'm still streaming, baby. I was late, but I'm still streaming, baby. And I'm gonna keep streaming, baby. So I'm trying. I'm genuinely trying. It's my earnest attempt. All right. I'm going to head out for the night. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. My name's Pumpkin Peppa, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Otsu Cringe! Till they bubbles away, till they bubbles away, till they bubbles away, till they. Till day, fluff us away. Till day, fluff us away. Till day, fluff us away. Till day.
We hope you enjoyed your
Hey,
stay.
thank you for becoming
Tuesday
me.
through Saturday, we'll see you again soon. A few hours past noon. Drinking, watching, reacting, backseaters, ISP problems left waiting. What the hell is Pippa eating? Eating. Marmot spam as chatters go ham. When will Pip Possum come back? We hope you enjoyed your stay. Your favorite streamers live. So today she'll be offline. Kapipi, we'll see you again soon. Leave a like and bop to the outro tune. Next stream we'll argue and laugh. Next stream we'll have a blast. Stick around to see who Pippa raids. Read their chat rules and say, hey dude, we'll stream again soon. Come back again and remember us when you hit message send. Till day fluffles away. Till day, fluffles away. Till day, fluffles away. Till day. Till day fluffles away. Till day.